Get started. Hey, Shalom Israel. Class is called The Hard Work of Giving. And welcome back to another class. Shalom to all the brothers and sisters out there that's teaching with us. Brotherhood schools of isbhpk in Houston and Virginia, Norfolk, Virginia, Rochester, New York, in Guatemala, in Cabo, Guatemala. Shalom all the brothers. We just came back off of the memorial blowing of the trumpets, which is the first of 3 high holy days that we're about to embark on. We're going to give more details on those up and coming high holy days very soon, and how we are going to observe them. That's coming. That information is coming soon. Shalom for watching. Shalom for staying tuned. Shalom to all the brothers in the class and also online. Shalom to everybody. Shalom. And we're just going to finish answering this question real quick from my brother. We're going to get into the class. But go ahead and pick that up. We're in Job chapter 4. We're just answering one question, and then we're going to get back to the class. Read that again, my one.
God, you want me to read it from the top?
No, read it from the part you got from verse 2.
God, Job chapter 4 and verse 2. If we essay to commune with thee, okay, go ahead. Will thou be grieved?
He says, if we're obliged to give our opinion, would you be upset? He's about to explain to Job why he's about to share his opinion. Read.
Will thou be grieved?
Go ahead.
But who can withhold himself from speaking?
Go ahead.
Behold, thou hast instructed many.
Now he's saying you were a teacher. He's telling Job, you normally are the teacher. You're normally the one keeping other people strong. You're normally the one instructing other people how to serve the Most High in Christ. Right? This is through his examination of Job. Read on.
And thou hast strengthened the weak hand.
It says you've done what?
Strengthening the weak hand.
And you've made a lot of people strong from your counsel. You've made a lot of people strong from your wisdom, from your teaching. Read on.
Thy words have upholden him that was fallen.
Right. He says your words lifted up a lot of people that was fallen, that was ready to give up, quit, get weak, turn left, go left, whatever the case may be. He said your words were potent to where they were able to pull people out of the mud, out of the dirt. Read on.
Come. And thou hast strengthened the feeble knees.
Go ahead.
But now it is come upon thee.
He says now through Eliphaz's examination, which he says it's hard for him not to speak on this matter. He says, so get the door. He says what?
But now it is come upon thee, and thou faintest.
He said, but now weakness is coming upon you. Now hardship is coming upon you. Now difficulties are coming upon you. Now the struggles are coming upon you. Now you're catching hard times. Now you're catching difficult moments. Now you're hitting a wall. And he said, you're failing at the advice that you used to give other people. You used to be the one instructing and teaching people how to get back on their feet. How come you can't pick your own self up?
And then they asked Christ something very similar?
Yeah.
Is there a relationship with that in Christ? A connection? Because they say he was on the cross, and how come you can't save yourself?
Yeah. That was part of the ridicule that Christ had to endure. Through by the the scorn that he received when they said, well, if you be the Christ, get thee down up from hence and save yourself. But that's what a lot of people do when you can't, you're normally the strong one. And when it seems like you can't get yourself or out of a situation, people criticize you. And this is criticism coming from somebody who used to recognize Job as a teacher, as a leader, as one that was strong. Yes.
So would you say that what Eliphaz was saying to Job was wrong in a sense?
What I was saying, what I would say is he could have held his peace. But listen to how he's the counsel of a man will strengthen him, right? Will strengthen his friend, right? So I can build somebody up. That's what edification means. I could build you up with knowledge. I could build you up with intellect. I could build you up morally, spiritually. But this man, instead of using words to build up Job, he's using words to do what? To criticize him.
Okay. When he's at a low point.
When he's at a low point. So you can see how your closest friends may seem, when you're down, they use that moment as a moment to attack you, versus using that moment to share what you've given them. And matter of fact, I guess we can tie this into the class.
It really connects to the point.
Yeah.
Not early though.
Yeah. Go ahead and go. We're gonna start the class up. Go to 2 Corinthians 1 and 11 real quick. So yeah, it would be great if Eliphaz could return the favor and uplift Job the way that Job was normally uplifting those that needed help. That was normally uplifting those that were down, using words of encouragement and exhortation. Read that real quick.
2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 11.
Go ahead.
Ye also, helping together.
He says, and you also, this is what Paul said to the church of Corinth. He says, and you also helping what?
Helping together.
Do what?
By prayer for us.
He says, listen, you know how Paul is saying, what Paul is saying is, being that we're in a bad condition, he says, you're helping me by doing what?
By prayer for us.
He says, by your prayers to us while we're suffering is actually helping us. So Eliphaz could have done what?
Pray.
He could have been praying for Job. But instead of praying for Job, what was he doing?
Criticizing.
He was criticizing. You fell off. You used to be the teacher. You used to hold people up by your counsel.
Isn't that kind of similar how when other people were talking bad about Paul when he went to jail, and Paul was going to jail for the right reasons?
Yeah, you say that. You can say that. Read on.
It says, prayer for us, that for the gift.
It says, hold on. He says, your prayers have been strengthening us for the gift what?
Bestowed upon us by the means of many persons. Thanks may be given by many on our behalf.
He says, read it again and read it with clarity.
Gotcha. So 2 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 11. Ye also helping together by prayer for us.
Go ahead.
That for the gift bestowed upon us by the means of many persons, thanks may be given by many on our behalf.
So he's saying what? He's saying because of our job of lifting up other people, that opportunity when we're in a situation of need has come back around. He's saying for the benefits that he's bestowed upon the church of Corinth, their prayers are strengthening him back up. So what he's showing is that there's no good deed that goes unnoticed. That people see and recognize good deeds. They're not in vain. Dedication is not in vain. Teaching other people is not in vain. Lifting up other people is not in vain. Sacrificing for other people is not in vain. All these things are not in vain because he's saying at the time that we need it, it's there. And our sacrifices is in return coming back in reward of your prayers, which is giving us strength. What he's showing is that what you do, if you may not see the benefit of what you do right away. You might not see it off the jump. All you may see is work. All you may see is sacrifice. All you may see is labor. All you may see is struggle.
The daily issue.
The daily issues, confrontation, disagreements, whatever the case may be. But you don't see how your actual work that you do for Christ is going to benefit you later. And let's go ahead and dive into that point. Let's go to Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 11, verse 1. We got that on the screen. Yeah. Because Eliphaz could have been using this opportunity to strengthen Job with prayer. But instead, finish that, Mawala. I want you to, before you read 11, finish that verse 5.
Come. Job chapter 4 and verse 5 reads, "But now it is come upon thee."
Now you're the one where the odds are stacked against you. Now you're the one in trouble. And you can't even help yourself. Well, let's finish reading and see what he says. Go ahead.
"It is come upon thee,
Go ahead.
and thou faintest."
And now you're weak. Why don't you believe those words that you was telling people when they were weak? Why don't you swallow those same words?
Ain't the same situation, bro. Listen, kids dead, wealth gone, changes come upon them, Sabians sit here and take property, boils on the skin,
Slayed his men servants,
slay his men servants,
cattle,
Yeah.
house burnt, house fell down.
Yeah, house natural disaster. That's a natural. It's a freak disaster. Make you think, man, is the Most High with me?
The house fell on the children.
Come on, bro. Out of nowhere.
All in one day.
At the same day.
Yeah.
Then you say, hey, how come you don't use the same? It's not the same, bro. Nobody deals with these type of experiences at one time.
Yeah, but look at the callousness of his friends.
Yeah.
Look how callous they are.
Callous, yeah.
Read.
Unfeeling.
Again.
"And thou faintest, it toucheth thee."
It said now you're catching a little affliction, and now you and your feelings. It's touching you. Now you're all affected.
So, see, is he supposed to get like kids die, wealth gone, savings come rob them, natural disaster, broken house? You think the house just got fixed overnight? The house collapsed. Their bodies are in the house. He got to pull his children out. You can just sit there and just they're over there. He got to have reminders on his property all the time and seeing his children. He's supposed to just nothing happened.
Yeah.
And then the wife he had left was the one that nagged the most. He supposed to act like nothing happened.
Oh, somebody else read Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 29, start at verse 14. I like what you're saying. Read this right here. We're still answering the question, but we're going to tie it into the class at the same time.
It's a real issue though.
Right.
It's not like just because it happened that day, the next day, he didn't have to bury his children.
That to bury his children, right?
The house that collapsed, he has to sit here and it can't just be collapsed the next 5 years. That's just too hard on the mind.
He got boils all over his skin.
His skin is crazy and it's itching, it's infected, it's poisonous. He probably doesn't smell the best out because he ain't. How you gonna shower like you're depressed out? People don't shower constantly depressed out.
And then also he was taking a potsherd, which is a piece of sharp, broken pot, and scraping the boils off his skin. Wow. And then and these are the words from a so-called friend.
And that wasn't painful. It's not
Right.
like, listen, I got a scab right here, bro. From looking at something and the skin died. I'm not gonna rip the skin off. It's gonna feel. It won't feel good.
No.
But his whole body.
And
was like that.
he's scraping boils off. But he's supposed to be positive. Oh, I thought you was the strong one. I thought you were the guy that was teaching other people how to be strong. Now you're not strong. What's wrong with you? Read that.
It's out the spirit.
That's
Ecclesiastes chapter 29 verse 14.
crazy, ain't it?
Yeah.
Read.
An honest man is surety for his neighbor.
He said, but an honest man will do what?
Is surety for his neighbor.
He said, an honest man will look out for his neighbor. Read on.
But he that is impudent
Bold.
will forsake him.
It said, but he that is what?
Bold.
Impudent will forsake him.
These are some bold words, man. This is some bold words. Like, damn, why are you speaking with no compassion? Why? I've been there for you. I've been there for other people when they're weak. I've been there for other people when their needs were weak, they're feeble, faint-hearted, when they were in trouble, when they needed advice, they needed counsel. Yeah,
He had compassion on people.
Yeah.
Where's his compassion?
When it's time for him to get some compassion, he can't get none. Read.
Come, verse 15. Forget not the friendship of thy surety.
It said, forget not the friendship of the people that's been taking care of you when you were in trouble. Read on.
For he hath given his life for thee.
He said, because this man has been what?
Given his life for thee.
Because he was giving his life to make sure that when you were catching hard times and you were going through all these woes and ills that life throw at a person, This person was always there with some good words, some scripture, some counsel, some advice, trying to get you back on your feet and pull you out of your own hole that you dug yourself into, or that you don't even know how to get out of. This person has been faithful, loyal, and committed to the friendship on one side. But when it was time to receive that loyalty and that compassion, it wasn't there. Read. And it's going to explain why. Read.
Come, verse 16. A sinner will overthrow the good estate of his surety,
Go ahead.
and he that is of an unthankful mind
Uh-oh.
Oh wow.
will leave him.
It
Wow.
said,
Read again. That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Where we at?
John, Ecclesiastes
Crazy.
chapter 29, verse 17.
It's crazy.
that's the problem.
Wow.
And he that is of unthankful mind,
It said, he that is what?
of an unthankful mind,
Is of an unthankful mind. Meaning, you've been my friend when I needed you. You've been my friend when I was down. But did I appreciate all the times that you've extended yourself and given me everything that I needed to get back on my feet? No. That relationship is one-sided.
It's obvious, because this is the perfect time to give back. I'm in debt to you as a brother. This is you're down. This is the perfect time to extend.
Right.
This is the perfect time.
Perfect opportunity.
If he was really understanding all that lesson he was taught, he was taught by Job, right?
If you really appreciated everything that Job was, he obviously was able to identify
Yeah.
the good that Job was doing. But does that mean that he was appreciating and valuing the good that Job was doing? No. And this is a sad situation of where this is the root of where this criticism is coming from. It's coming from the fact that when you was giving me this counsel by your sacrifices, I really didn't value it. I didn't value what you were losing to give to me or the other people around me.
Yeah.
I didn't see you as a somebody worthy of that same thing when you're low. That's why I can't give it when the opportunity is there. Read. He said, he that is of a what?
unthankful mind will leave him in danger.
Unthankful mind, bro. That's crazy.
He that is of an unthankful mind will leave him in what?
In danger.
Damn, you couldn't pray for the man? You didn't send up prayers for him? You didn't care to extol him with some positivity? You didn't care to lift him up with positive words of influence?
This is what the word thank means, or multiple words for thank. To show gratitude, to give thanks, to acknowledge, to be obligated to be indebted to bless, to praise, to show courtesy, to smile on. It says appreciative, and then the opposite of that is ungrateful, insensible, thankless, and indifferent.
So when things get difficult, it's not hard to show who really. It says that a friend cannot be hidden when.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
During adversity, an enemy cannot be hidden.
Prosperity.
Enemy cannot.
Read that verse, so I'll make sure I'm quoting correctly. Read that verse. It's in Ecclesiastes.
I think it says.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 8. A friend cannot be known in prosperity.
That's right. You don't know a friend in prosperity. You don't know who's on your side when everything is what?
Good.
Everything's good. You don't know who's on your side when everything's good. They haven't been revealed. It hasn't revealed them.
And Jake talks about this all the time, even
Right.
since the 70s. I mean, this is from my recording. I'm 80 baby, but even since the 70s, they always talk about people when you're up. Everybody's your friend.
Those called fair weather friends.
Con.
Fair weather friends. When the weather is fair, they're your friend. When it's bad weather, they're nowhere to be found. So I'm only there to reap the benefits of the good times.
To gain it. The good, it's a good time.
It's one-sided.
It's a one-way.
It's a one-way friendship. It's a one-way relationship. So when things are good, man, I'm all in it when things are good. I'm there.
Shalom, bro.
Yeah, I'm there, bro.
What's good, baby?
You know what I'm saying? I'm on your side. When we up,
What we finna do?
what we gonna do?
What we gonna do?
do? Where we going?
Yeah.
What we gonna eat? Yeah, when everything is up. But when there's a struggle, the roles kind of change. The disposition changes. Read.
Come. A friend cannot be known in prosperity.
Cannot be known.
Right.
You really can't know. What you always break this class down. Ever since back in the day, a friend's one who entertains for another's sentiment.
Right. That's what the true definition of hospitality is. Someone who entertains someone, a guest or a stranger, for the other person's sentiment. That means that I'm entertaining this person, and there's no benefit coming to me whatsoever.
I get nothing.
I get nothing out of this deal other than the fact that seeing that person happy, and that's what true hospitality is. That's the true definition of hospitality is when I can give myself for the entertainment that's enjoyable to somebody else, but I reap none of the benefits of it. This is how you know also
no residuals
that people really don't have true hospitality. Because when they are giving you something, somewhere intermingled in that giving is something that they want in return as a reward, or there's some personal interest involved when it comes to the giving. There's a string attached to it.
And just to use a carnal example of it, you could look at it as government policies, America's government policies in foreign nations.
Right.
We're going to come over here. We're going to help.
We're going to build a hospital.
Yeah.
We're going to give you some schools. We're going to build some clinics. We're going to give you some health care.
Yeah.
We're going to drop off some food.
Care packages.
Some medicines, some antibiotics.
Huh?
But at what expense?
We're going to give you some protection too. We're gonna
we got to give you some protection from the enemies. So we're going to give you some weapons too.
Yeah. We just want to give you freedom. We just want to help you.
We want to help you.
They've been helping for a long time.
But at what cost?
At the cost of siphoning resources.
All your resources.
Resources. Banks being indebted to them.
Or cheap labor.
Cheap labor, yeah.
We're going to exploit your labor force, or we're going to exploit your resources. So it's not real true hospitality.
Yeah.
It's not real true charity. If I'm looking to get something in return, and if I'm not, then I'm not loyal to that friendship when I'm not receiving anything in return. That's a one-sided relationship. And that's why he says, read that part, my one.
Come. Ecclesiastes chapter 12 and verse 8 reads, a friend cannot be known in prosperity.
Yeah, when everything is good, it's hard to know, who really cares. You know, in the Jake world, they always talk about my day ones, man.
Yeah.
These are my day ones.
From
man.
the mud, from the mud.
Yeah, we got it out the mud together.
Yeah.
You know, this is what Jake talk about. You know, they've been there from the beginning when I didn't have nothing. You know, there's a few that don't value the sacrifices of a person before you got your contract, before you got your big payday, before you got your promotion. You know, when they were starving in it. You know, it's one guy, I forgot his name. He's always on the Art of Dialogue on YouTube, and he used to be with Puffy, and Puffy, he helped build Bad Boy Records.
Oh wow!
But he's always talking about how Puffy doesn't acknowledge him and won't pay him. And he was there from the beginning. He was there when they were just A&Rs.
Wow.
And he was there to build the record label. He gives all the details of how Bad Boy was built. He gets no credit. He gets no credit. He gets no royalties. He gets no rewards. He gets no acknowledgement. Nothing. None of these things. Shalom. He don't get none of these things from his efforts out. And he said, man, all I want from Puffy is to acknowledge what I've done. He won't get nothing, bro. And he was there from the jump. Even when Biggie was killed, he said he was the last one in L.A. And he had interns, and he made sure Puffy got out of there.
Yeah, I saw that interview.
Yeah, he said he was the last one there in L.A. making sure that all the interns got flights back home.
He got hit. Puffy hit in the trunk. They say he hit in the trunk.
They got out of there.
They drove him.
They drove him out of there.
God.
And then he stayed back, and he stayed with Biggie's body, and to make sure that the body was sent back home. And then he left L.A. He was the last one to leave. Puffy was been out of there.
Last soldier, bro.
Yeah, but this guy gets no credit whatsoever, no recognition whatsoever for all the sacrifices, and all he gets is criticism, or ignored. He gets ignored. But he said a friend may not be known when.
Cannot be known in prosperity.
Read on.
And an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity.
And now you start to see the quality of the friendship of Eliphaz in Job chapter 2 or chapter 4. You start to see the quality of the friendship. It's not really made in nothing. It's not made on nothing. It's not built on anything but one person that's unthankful and unappreciative of what everything this person's been providing. Read on.
God. And an enemy cannot be hidden in adversity. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved.
Right. So when things are good, the enemy will be what?
Grieved.
Damn. So when things are bad, the enemy's happy all of a sudden. Got something to say. Now I have an opinion.
Yeah.
So he's showing you. Does that help give you some understanding on the root of Eliphaz's criticism to Job? That doesn't sound like a grandiose friendship based on mutual concern on both sides. It was all one-sided. That means that I was down with the friendship as long as I was receiving the benefits. But now that you're down, I got something to say, and I can't hold. It's hard for me to hold my tongue. So that begins the chapter of this man's criticism towards Job. So let's go. Let that go, because that's how people are, though. Let's go to Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 11. Let's start at verse 1. But although some people may have that extreme nature of one-sidedness, as long as I'm reaping the benefits, I'm down. But if I'm not getting something out of the deal, I'm really not going to be there for you as a support. I'm going to forsake the friendship because things aren't looking good or looking promising to me. Let's go to Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and 1.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 11 and verse 1.
Somebody else give me Tobit 4 and 7.
Ready?
Yep.
Cast thy bread upon the waters.
He said what?
Cast thy bread upon the waters.
He's saying cast thy bread upon the what?
The waters.
What is your bread?
Your bread is supposed to be, from my experience, your bread is your substance.
Bingo.
Right?
Yep.
Bread's thing. You eat the bread and it can take care of your body. It can keep your bones together. It can fill you up. It can take care of your appetite. It's substance.
Right.
So I'm supposed to cast my substance upon the waters.
You know what it's showing you? Even though there's some one-sided relationships, it says still cast your bread where?
Upon the waters.
It says still cast your bread upon the waters. Still, what he's explaining is your bread is your substance. Read that in Tobit 4 and 7 real quick, just to make this point.
Tobit, chapter 4, verse 7. Give alms of thy substance.
That your bread is your substance.
Oh, it's the same thing. So
Same thing.
My bread is my substance. It's saying the same thing then.
Saying the same thing.
It don't mean just throw bread on the water like to some ducks.
No, it's not saying feed the birds and the ducks at the park.
People think that sometimes, like you can throw your bread in the water. You gotta feed the ducks, Lord. Most houses you gotta take care of the, you know.
It's a metaphor for give without knowing where it's gonna land. You don't know where it's gonna land, but you're giving for the sake of giving.
Just because
you believe something. He says, "Give alms of thy substance." Right? Who got Tobit? You got Tobit, right? Read that.
Tobit 4, verse 7. Give alms of thy substance, and when thou givest alms, let not thine eye be envious.
When he said, "Let not thine eye be envious," that means that I'm only going to give it based upon as long as I know what you're going to do with it. Because if you're going to do something that I don't agree to, then I'm not going to give it. If it's going to benefit you in a way that I don't like, you know what I'm saying? If I don't agree to it, hey, I'm not going to give it.
And another way of saying, let not the eye be envious, is sometimes like when you give, you kind of regret you did it.
Yeah.
I kind of want, I gave, but I didn't want to do it in the first place. And
Yeah.
I kind of mad I did this.
Yeah.
I should have never given
You
you
know
that
what?
shirt.
'Cause
I should have never given you this little shirt. I should have never bought that meal.
Yeah, because look, I shouldn't have did it.
I
Yeah,
see.
but it's also showing how a person worries about what they're going to do with my charity.
Wow. Okay.
What are you going to do with my charity? What are you going to do with my alms? And I got to learn how to give without trying to control it. Because
No.
ultimately that's what people try to do.
That's the main.
You know, when I give you a shirt, you better wear that shirt. And if you don't wear that shirt, I'm going to ask you what?
Where's your shirt?
Where's that shirt I bought you? I never see you wear it. Well, who's it for? Is it? Did you buy it for me, or did you buy it so I can wear it so you can acknowledge that I wore it? So in actuality, you bought it for you, to say that I bought it for you.
Yeah. That's that. That's the shirt I bought that dude.
Yeah, he wearing that shirt. You see, they wearing that shirt I got.
That's what I hooked him up with.
See?
I feel good.
So I got something out of it.
Yeah.
What did I get out of it?
Some kind of acknowledgement.
I got recognition.
Yeah.
I got acknowledgement. I bought that. Well, when you do charity, it's not for you to gain anything from it. You're not looking for something to get in return, and that's what people do. People give with the notion that they, you know, if I bought you some food and I'm looking at you eat that food and you threw away the mashed potatoes, but I bought the whole plate.
I was mad at mine.
I'm mad at it. Now, how come you ain't eating the mashed potatoes, man? That's an $8 plate.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's the real thing, though.
You don't eat the mashed. Why you throw that in the why you throw that in the trash? You know what people don't know how to do? People don't know how to give for real. People give with hooks, strings attached. They give with conditions.
Yeah, conditional giving.
Conditional giving, based upon if you use it, if you eat it, if you have a purpose to it. If I give something that it was in my heart to give it, and a person say, you know, I ate it, I don't really like it, it ain't taste good, throw it in the trash. Why am I angry? Because I'm trying to control it.
Yeah.
Then it wasn't really free. Yes, sir.
You got Matthew 6:2.
We'll get that. Read.
That's what you're saying, though. You're saying that the principle is, if a person's supposed to give, according to the Bible, a person's supposed to give freely, without putting that constraint on people.
Right.
But there's some people that are spiritually immature.
Without eyeballing the gift.
Come.
I'm eyeballing what I give you. If I gave it to you and it was free, then what you do with it is up to you.
Is that the same spirit? This is a question. When people begin arguments, they say, "Well, I did this for you. I did this for you. I did this for you. I did this for you."
You know what? Because I'm stacking it against you. I'm stacking my hospitality against you.
It's a control method.
It's a control mechanism,
Yeah.
and also then you realize that it wasn't really free. It was to say I've outdone you.
Oh.
It was done in a comparative, envious nature.
Wow.
I did more for you than you did for me. Well, who's counting?
So now
We didn't know it was a race.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was a measure. I've done this for you. I've done that for you. I did this for you. I was there for you. And this. Why is that being thrown out there? If I got real charity, hey, I'm gonna give it. What you do with it, hey, it's what you do with it. If it was just in me to give it to you as a brother or a sister, then hey, if you never wear that shirt I bought you, so be it. If you gave it away, so be it. If you gave away the food that I bought you to somebody else, so be it. But I gave it when I saw fit, not the opportunity. Read.
Neither turn thy face from any poor.
It says, neither turn thy face from any poor. Read on.
And the face of the Most High
It says, and the face of the Most High, go ahead.
shall not be turned away from thee.
And the Most High, you will always stay in good graces with the Most High. When you see somebody have a need and you're just able to give it without strings attached, and it was in your power, the Most High will always consider you. So when you cast your water, go back to Ecclesiastes chapter 11 verse 1. Read that again.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 11, verse 1. Cast thy bread upon the waters. For
What that means is that there's a chance that what I have to give may be lost. When you think about the waters and throwing something at sea, do you know which way it's going?
Hell no. Ocean water.
When you're in the ocean, brother, you throw something on the water, you'll never ever know if you ever gonna see that again.
The wind gonna blow it somewhere.
The waves are gonna take it, currents are gonna take it, the wind is gonna blow it. What he's saying is, you give with the idea that this may be lost, that this may not come back to me, because you know what that still takes to do that? Who said it?
Faith.
It takes faith to do it. It takes faith to give when you know I may never get this back.
Come
That's what he's saying when he's referencing cast it upon the waters.
And then it defeats the purpose to a person that has that envious eye of giving. It defeats the purpose. Why should I give this? And it's not coming back.
You know why not make
It's
come
a
back?
count, yeah.
Yeah. Deuteronomy 15:11. Somebody read that.
Come. Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 11. For the poor shall never cease out of the land.
You know why? You know why it may not come back? Why may it not come back?
For the poor shall never cease out of the land.
Why may your goods never come back?
Because the poor
For
shall
the
never
poor shall never
Poverty's
cease
not going anywhere.
out of the land.
Because somebody always gonna need what you have to give, so it may never come back to you per se. Somebody's always gonna need it. It's always gonna be needed. Your charity will always be needed. There never will be a time when somebody doesn't need your charity. There will never be a time where somebody don't need what you have to give. Never.
So you're saying that if you are a giver, there's always going to be a situation where you have to give.
There's always going to be a situation we have to give. Always. Read.
God. For the poor shall never cease out of the land. Therefore I command thee, saying, Thou shalt open thine hand wide.
It says you shall open your hand what?
Wide.
That means I'm not trying to control. I'm not trying to control my... That's what people like to do. People like to control their charity. Controlled charity is not real charity. Controlled hospitality is not real hospitality. It said I'm trying to I should open my hands wide. Meaning what? Let it go. If I'm in the spirit of giving to my brothers, then I'm not tripping about you better wear it, you better eat it, you better bring it back to me, you better do this. I gotta consider it lost, and if it don't come back, so it don't come back.
I gave it.
I gave it. That's what the Most High wanted to see. Read.
Open thy hand wide unto thy brother.
Unto who?
To thy brother.
Go ahead.
To the poor. To thy poor. And to thy needy.
And the poor is just the person that had a need at that moment.
At that moment. Finish Tobit 4:8. Who had Tobit 4:8?
Tobit chapter 4 and verse 8. If thou hast abundance,
It said, and if you got a lot to give, go ahead.
give alms accordingly.
It says, if you have a lot to give, it says, give accordingly. Obviously, you got extra. So you shouldn't be tripping because you have extra. Read on.
If thou have but a little, be not afraid to give according to that little.
It says, but if you have what?
A little.
If you have a little, be not what?
Be not afraid to give according to that little.
And I'm just asking this question. So are you saying, because this is a bigger issue, some people like, man, I got enough for me, bro. Now, I've been that person, so I know me. I've said this before.
Right.
Listen, bro. Listen, I don't have to tell you, bro. I got 10 on my pocket right now. I'll give you. If you want the 10, you can have it. But I already don't got to give right now.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to be doing?
If he asks you for it, give it to him. Because it's still based upon what? Still based upon faith. It's still based upon faith. It still comes back to, do you have enough faith to give it?
Come on.
That's verse 8. It
Yeah.
says, thou hast but little what?
Be not afraid to give according to that little.
It says, be not afraid. And because people are afraid to not have enough to get through whatever they're going through, I don't have enough to offer or give or share with anybody else.
That's crazy.
It's still a problem of faith. Go ahead.
No, brothers be driving together. For examples, guard. This can't walk outside in the dark by himself. Okay, one person. Okay, so I've been brothers be driving around and we be running out of gas out. You know the gas problems that when back in what time was it? Bush times. Gas was super high.
Yeah.
Brothers have money in their pockets, but it won't be that much money. And then we're about to run on E. But we ain't finna get to the school.
Hey, I've seen this before. 3 brothers in a car. 2 brothers in the front seat talking about, hey man, we might not make it. You got any money on you? No, I ain't got none on me. You got some money on you? No, man, how much you got? I got $1. And the person in the back seat just quiet. While the 2 in the front seat are deliberating if they're going to have enough to make it. And I've seen this. Brother, how much you got? You got some change on you? Nah, man, I'm strapped. How we gonna get to work? How we gonna get to where we need to go? And then there's silence in the back. And then so naturally the attention goes where?
To the back.
To the back. And both parties turn around and say, brother, you got some money on you? Kind. How much you got on you? $100.
No.
But we sit up here arguing, not even arguing. We're deliberating. You hear the conversation. You hear us struggling. You hear us going back and forth about neither one of us have no money. And you're just quiet in the back seat sitting on $100. And this is real. This is not like making up. This is not a fable or allegorical story. This is a parable. This is real.
Yeah.
Brother sitting in the back with $100 in his pocket. Ain't saying nothing. And we're struggling on how to get to where we're going. But you got it. You got it, but you don't want to what?
Give it.
You don't want to give it, man. Yes, that brother was gone into for a long time. You know what I'm saying? If anybody wanted to know. But I will not say names. But they deserve that. Because, damn, brother, what do you think we're here for? But a lot of people don't have that faith, whether they have abundance. It's not even like if you got somebody asking for your last $2. Brother, you sitting on $100. We may just need $4 to get where we're going. But won't even give that. That's how ridiculous it is. Let that go. We're going to come back to that in a minute later on. But let's go back to Ecclesiastes 11. And,
The funny part is the same brothers may have received charity when they were in that situation.
oh, yeah.
That's the crazy part.
Con. Read that.
You want the top of one?
Con.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 11, verse 1. Cast thy bread upon the waters, for thou shalt find it after many days.
He says it will be a long time, but guess what happens after a long time?
We'll come back.
It's not going to come back right away. That's what the Most High is telling you. When you extend and you give, you may not see it. It won't come back right away, and that's okay. He says, but ye will find it after what?
That shalt find it after many days.
It's going to be a while. But after many days, guess what happens?
That shalt find it
It's a
after
promise
many
from the
days.
Most High.
It's going to come back to you, bro. He's showing you that that charity always has a recourse. Yes, sir.
You know, in the Bible, there's shout and there's may. It didn't say may.
Right.
That shout.
So it will be back.
Come.
It's guaranteed to come back. It just returns at a later time. So when you do decide to give, yes, sir.
Proverbs 19:17.
We may have it. Hold on.
okay.
Yeah. We may have it. If we don't, read it later on. But hold on. Put a note to it. We may have it. Read. No, he says. Verse 1 says, "Cast thy bread upon the water." He says, "And after many days, it shall be what?
Shalt find it.
He said, thou shalt find it." Right?
It's gonna come back.
It'll come back to you. Meaning it's never really lost. Read.
Verse 2. Give a portion to 7.
Now what he's saying is, give a portion of what?
To 7.
7 is what?
Number of a lot of people.
That means what?
Number of
More than one person,
Minimum.
2 people.
Yeah, more than one person. He says, spread your charity out. Give it out to people. Give what you have to offer, not just to one person. Share what you have to offer to the people around you. Because some of us are selective.
Yeah.
Well, I can give to you because I know you'll give it back to me.
You always come back.
You always come back. So I ain't tripping when it comes to you. But you, I can't. I don't know about you. I don't know about you because you don't pay back.
I know you don't.
You don't, and I know you always borrowing.
Yeah.
You steady borrowing, but when it's time to repay, you can't be found. So I start selecting very few people who to give my charity to. He said, give it to who?
Give a portion to 7.
He said, give a portion of 7. That means an innumerable amount of people that need. especially your brothers that need. Give a portion to 7. Go ahead.
And also to 8.
And also to 8. Showing you that it's not just 1 or 2 people that you choose to give it to because you trust those 1 or 2 people. He said charity is to be dispensed to a multitude of people, as many as have need.
So I'm supposed to extend myself as much as possible.
Yes.
That's intended.
Yep.
The law may not say thou shalt extend yourself, but the scriptures are saying that's the wisdom of the Most High.
Yes. He's showing you that he just made a guarantee that if you give what you have, he said it will come back. It'll just come back after a long time, after many days, but it will come back. It's not in vain. And a lot of times we refuse to give because we think, man, this is gone. But that's part of the faith that the Most High is looking at to see if you're going to give what you have. Who has Tobit 4?
Tobit 4?
Read verse 9. And why does he say give it to 7 or give it to 8? Finish that in verse 2.
It says, give a portion to 7 and also to 8, for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth.
He says, because you don't know what evil is coming. And for anybody that's paying attention to the news or just in life in general, what's coming around the corner?
Nuclear destruction.
End times, famines, food shortage, wars that's already going on,
blackouts,
rolling blackouts,
The purge.
people that want to purge. They watching movies, man. Hollywood got into them. They want to clear out people.
Yeah.
So you know what's coming. It's not hard to see what's coming. So he says you should be giving. He says because what?
It says,
days are evil.
that for thou knowest not what evil shall be upon the earth.
He said because you don't know what evil shall be on the earth.
And the word
so why is he saying give to 7 or give to 8? Because you don't know what evil. What does that have to do with anything?
With everything.
But why does it matter that you give to 7 to 8? And what does that have to do with evil's coming on the earth?
Because the arms will save you from the evil.
Bingo. Read verse 9.
There you go.
For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity.
Oh, wait a minute. So when I give the 7 or 8, and that evil day hits me, or I fall into that evil day, and I have a necessity. Well, guess who can provide me that necessity? I can have my necessities provided for by a multitude of the people that I gave my charity to. So when I hit a wall, but if I only gave to one person, and that one person can't be found, who's going to deliver me when I have a need, or there's a time when I hit you had your hand up? Okay. Who's going to deliver me in my necessity?
The Most High.
The Most High will. You know why? Those 7, 8 people will first. And then the Most High. But you see how everything that you do when it comes to your charity, you're planting seeds. When you're doing charity, you're planting seeds that you will reap the benefits of later. Because there's going to come a time when you're not going to have it to give, but you're going to be in a position with your hand out. And you're going to be needy. And you're going to want. But you know what the Most High is looking at? How were you when the other people around you wanted?
No, it's crazy.
What was your thought process like when your brothers and sisters needed what you had to give?
It's a flip. It's a flip.
It is a flip. You know how it's a flip? Go to Ecclesiasticus in Apocrypha 33 and 15. That's how you know it. That's how you know it's a flip. And the roles will reverse. They are going to reverse.
Should I go to what?
Ecclesiasticus 15 and 33 and 15. Read that.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 33 verse 15. So look upon all the works of the Most High.
So if you look upon the works of the Most High, read.
And there are 2 and 2.
He says there's 2 and 2. Go ahead.
one against another.
Go ahead.
I waked up last of all.
He says there's two against two, one against another. Meaning what? Things stand in opposition to each other.
At all times.
Just like happiness stands in opposition to what? Sadness. Just like rich stands in opposition to what? Poor. Just like black stands in opposition to what?
White.
Yeah. All these things stand in opposition, and it's only a matter of time before, if you were up, well, if you're up, you can guarantee there's going to come a time where you're going to be what?
Down.
You're going to be down. You're not always going to have it to give. But you know what's going to determine whether you'll be saved out of that necessity? How you were when you did have it to give. And how frequent and how many people you chose to extend to when you had an abundance. Or whether you didn't have an abundance, but you still weren't afraid to give it when those people around you needed it.
Because it was right.
Because it was right. Because it's only a matter of time where the evil time is around the corner. And what's going to save you from the evil time? What your charity was like when you were in your good times, when you were on your high horse, when you had an abundance. The Most High is checking out to see how should you be delivered from your necessity. By how many people did you deliver out of their necessity? And the Most High is determining that. Read that in verse 9 one more time.
You mean verse 15?
I'm going to let that go in 15. Please, Tobit 4:9.
Tobit 4 verse 9. For thou layest up a good treasure for thyself against the day of necessity.
And he says, you lay up a good treasure for yourself.
It's a treasure.
It has value, bro.
Come.
Against the day of what?
Necessity.
Yes, you do. By giving to multiple people as often, as frequent as you can. Because it's going to be there for your benefit when things fall apart, which they are very soon. Things are about to fall apart. It's already falling apart. What are we talking about? It's going to fall apart. Things already are falling apart. You know what? The only thing keeping people from panicking is low gas prices.
It's facts.
That's the only thing keeping people with some hope or some positivity.
And that's just before the election.
Yeah, that's just for midterms. After these midterms, man, them gas prices gonna equal that damn them dozen of eggs. That was $12 a couple months ago. Yes, sir.
No, just to jump on what Yahweh said. It's only until they close the strategic oil reserve that they opened up. They release like 1 million barrels, I think, every day or every month. So after the midterms, they're going to close it, and then the government's going to start buying it back. So there's going to be a strain on the oil that's being sold on the open market. So the price will go back up to like $4 after the midterm, because they got to replenish the strategic oil reserve.
I didn't know that. Well, I do know that. But you know, because you know Trump was going to open up that Alaskan pipeline.
Yeah,
He was trying
to. Yeah.
That got shut down. So as the oil run out, then when food is already high. I was reading something about the economy, how they expected they anticipated a 1% inflation growth. Inflation rose to like 2-point-something%, which was more than their anticipated number, and it's at a high that they didn't anticipate so quickly. All of their smart guys, all of their think tanks, and all their economists were wrong about how bad the inflation really is. They were all wrong. All the numbers were what they thought, oh, it probably won't reach this high. It's already exceeded and excelled those numbers. So it's just, the panic has not set in. It's the calm before the storm. It's the calm before the storm. Ecclesiastes, right? We in Ecclesiastes. Go to 7 and 14 real quick.
Ecclesiastes 7 and 14. In the day of prosperity, be joyful.
It says, in the day of prosperity, be what?
Be joyful.
Be joyful in the day of prosperity. Why?
Because it may not be, maybe short-lived.
It is going to be short-lived. It will be short-lived. Prosperity is short-lived.
Whatever good is
But you know why he said you should be joyful in the day of prosperity? Because that means you got more people you can help. The joy is from the fact that I can do more. I can help more. Not in the fact that I have more. That's not where the joy is at.
Exactly.
The joy is not in the fact that I have more. That's not the joy of being in prosperity. The joy in prosperity should be the fact that I can help those 7 or 8 or however many people need my help. I can do more now. That's where the joy should be at. But that's not where people's joy is at when they're up. When people have joy when they're up and they're on their high horse, that joy isn't about doing more. That joy is about receiving more, planning more, executing more,
experiencing more.
It's not about actually extending more. It's never about that. But you know what they don't realize? Read that verse again.
Ecclesiastes in the Bible, chapter 7 and verse 14. In the day of prosperity, be joyful.
Go ahead.
But in the day of adversity.
Because what's coming after that prosperity?
The day of adversity.
Yeah, you're not always gonna be up. You're not always going to be in prosperity. Guaranteed. In the day of prosperity, go ahead.
In the day of adversity, consider.
It said, but in the day of adversity, consider. He said, you better consider who's going to help me. You know what you should be considering? Man, did I give to people when I was up? And if I did, I know the Most High will take care of me. But if I didn't, you better consider. You better consider that you're on your own. You're by yourself. Because when you had it to give, you wasn't joyful for the fact that I can do more now. I can help more people. More people can reap the benefits from my offering. It was about your own personal come up, your own personal gain, your own personal achievements. Go to Luke chapter 12. Start at verse 3.
Luke chapter 12 and 3. Therefore, whatsoever ye have spoken in darkness shall be heard in the light.
I'm sorry, is that Luke 12?
Luke 12 and 3.
I'm sorry, let me get it might be John 12. Hold on. I want the parable of Luke 12 and 1. Read 12 and 1. Hold on. Let me get 16. Is it 16? Let me get that. Yeah, that's what I want. Is it 13? 13. Yes, 13, not 3. 13, I'm sorry.
Luke 13 and 1?
12 and 13. Read that.
Luke chapter 12 and verse 13. And one of the company said unto him, Master, speak to my brother.
Yeah, this is at 13, 12 and 13. He said, Master, speak to my brother for what?
That he divide the inheritance with me.
That he split the inheritance with me. Read on.
And he said unto him, Man, who made a judge or a divider over you? And he said unto them, Take heed and beware of covetousness. For a man's life consisteth not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth.
He says, a man's life consisted not in the abundance of the things which he possesseth. So do you think life is about receiving more, or life is about helping more? It's about helping more. People don't have that understanding. People think that life is about me receiving things that make me happy, which in order for me to be more happy, I need to acquire more wealth to make me happy. I need to pursue happiness. I need to do things that benefit me on a personal level. When actually, life should be and when you're in prosperity, should be how much more can I do when I have it in abundance to give. I can help, I can extend, I can help more people. That's not how people's minds operate. Read on.
Verse 16. And he spake a parable unto them, saying, The ground of a certain rich man brought forth plentiful. And he thought within himself.
And he did what?
And he thought within himself.
Because this is what men do when they get abundance. When men get abundance, they start planning. That's when all the things that they weren't able to do, when they didn't have the ability to, Now I'm up. Now I can execute. Now I'm about to go shopping.
My will,
Man, this house, I'm finna get new furniture, new crib, new cell phone, new shoes, new car, new whatever it is that they feel like that they've been wanting and wasn't able to do. I'm gonna travel. I'm gonna spend some time out elsewhere. I'm gonna get around, see some things, cause I never could afford it.
I need more experiences.
I need more experiences. I got more freedom now.
Yeah.
I bought myself some liberty and freedom. They don't think within themselves, man, the Most High gave this to me so I can be a bigger help. Read on.
And he thought within himself, saying, what shall I do? Because I have no room where to bestow my fruits.
Read on.
And he said,
man, I'm capped out. Go ahead.
And he said, this will I do. I will pull down my barns.
He said, man, I'm going to tear down these barns. I'm going to remodel. I'm going to do some remodeling.
Yeah, some interior decorating.
We're going to remodel this barn. And do what?
And build greater.
And I'm about to tear this little barn down and make it bigger. For whose benefit?
Biggest barn on the block.
It's for mine. It's for my own benefit. I got to make more room, cause I got more resources. Read on.
And there will I bestow all my fruits and my goods.
Go ahead.
And I will say to my soul, soul.
And I will say to my soul,
soul. Crazy,
man. You know what? This is what people do. Christ is teaching this parable because he understands the psychology of man and women. The psychology of man and women is about they quantify material wealth as growth. That's the psychology of the material-minded man.
I'm growing, huh?
Because that's growth.
It's tax season. I've been growing.
They think that gain is godliness. But the scriptures say from such turn away from individuals that have that mind frame. But the natural, psychological, carnal-minded man thinks that me growing is me getting something greater than what I possess. We don't look at growth as giving. We don't look at growth as doing more.
I have a greater ability to extend now.
Right.
We don't look like that.
We don't look at it like that. Why do you think Christ has put this parable together the way he's doing it? Because he understands the mind. People don't think that, hey, I got more, so more people are about to get my help. More people are about to receive the benefits of what I have to offer. It's not that way. It's about me. It's the interest is me. The focus is me.
The motivation.
The benefits are me. The motivation is me. Everything that I'm about to do is for me. Read on.
And I will say to my soul, soul, thou hast much goods laid up for many years.
Wow.
For what? For many years.
He's speaking in the third person. Like there's typically an arrogance behind that when you're speaking in the third person.
Yeah. Well, you know, he's talking to his conscience. He's talking to his conscience. So, what am I going to do? What are we going to do with all this money? We got plans, man. We got plans. Got big plans, bro. About to go shopping. Tear it down. Make bigger. So I can bestow all my goods. Not goods that can benefit other people. Goods that benefit me. Read on.
Thou hast much good laid up for many years. Take thine ease. Eat. Drink.
It says take thy what?
Take thine ease.
People accumulate wealth for what purpose?
Take thine ease.
To do what?
To do less.
Take thine ease.
Has the mindset of people changed in 2,000 years? No. People get comfortable, and you know that they get comfortable by what they do when they have resources.
So you're saying, get this right. You're saying the Most High will bless a man, a woman, whoever, in general, just to reveal the frame of mind that was already inserted in their heart.
Bingo. Because he said a friend may not be known in what? In prosperity. So you have to be in a situation where somebody stands in opposition of your comfort, somebody stands in opposition of your resources, somebody stands in the opposition of your substance to identify where they are. Are they really a friend? How would you know unless something is standing in opposition to that of their wealth or their benefits of their convenience?
So you're saying I'm learning the question. So the issue is, there's 2 against 2, right? It's 1 against 1.
One against another.
So as soon as this blessing comes out,
right? The poor shall never cease out the land.
Look up and I can enjoy my blessing.
I can't enjoy the abundance of my blessing because I can't plan the things that I wanted to plan and execute the things that I wanted to execute. And that's exactly why Christ has this parable written the way it's written. Because when we get abundance, we don't think about other people. We think about numero uno. It's me, myself, and I.
Yeah.
It's what I can do with what I have. The Most High gave you what you have just to see what you're going to do with it. And He knows naturally by what you're seeking for of what you're going to do with it.
Oh. It's crazy.
Because He says, soul, I'm going to do what?
Thou hast much goods laid up for many years.
Meaning, I'm good for how long?
Many years.
Meaning, the adversity is nowhere close. The adversity, I don't have to struggle for a long time. I'm set up for a while.
Wow.
So I don't have to think about struggling for a while.
So I'm not in the situation where I'm not in the position to need anymore. I'm free from that. That's a bad. That's shame.
But this is why people accumulate what they possess, is so that they don't have to have need. So they can eliminate themselves of the struggle.
Wow.
You know, we was at this old man house. He said, man, I just retired. He said, man, I was a lawyer. I was a damn good lawyer too. He said, I'm retired. He said, but we're supposed to go on a cruise, but I could barely walk. He was on a walk. And he said, we were just about to go on a cruise.
The other day, right?
Yeah. He said, I could barely walk. He said, we're supposed to go on a cruise, but my wife slipped and she broke her foot. They're getting old. So they accumulated a great little nest egg. And they plan on taking trips. And they plan on going places. I said, yeah, man, you might want to get your money back. He said, yeah, I got my money back. I put insurance on that cruise. So I had to argue, but they gave my money back. You accumulated from being a damn good lawyer. You accumulated this wealth, and you can't leave the house. And you can't go nowhere. And you can't do nothing with it. And it can't benefit you. It said, but Christ understands the mind of men, especially carnal men and spiritual men. But he said, so I have what?
Thou hast much goods laid up for many years.
So now I can do what?
Take thine ease.
I can do what?
Take thine ease.
So this is how you know whether somebody is charitable or not. Because when it's time to give, they do what?
Take thine ease.
They slow down. They take a break. They don't do more. They don't extend more. They slow down and take a break. Read on.
Eat, drink, and be
and
merry.
Do what?
Eat, drink, and be merry.
What does that mean?
Indulge.
I get to enjoy what I built. I get to enjoy it.
Overindulge.
I get to enjoy. Retire.
Overindulge.
Overindulge.
Get distracted. Get caught up in it.
Or just reap the benefits.
Ease also means to relieve.
I get. There's my relief. I got my relief now. Read.
But the Most High said unto him, Thou fool, this night thy soul shall be required of thee.
He said what?
This night thy soul shall be required of thee.
Go ahead.
Then whose shall those things be?
He says, then who's going to enjoy what you built up to enjoy? Who's gonna reap the benefits of all your labor now? What he's saying is, it won't be you. Because what the Most High was looking at was, what were you doing when you had abundance? When you're in the spirit of sharing, caring, extending, giving, looking out, filling the gaps, making sure people that the poor there's always going to be poor in the land. Were you making sure people had resources, were benefiting from your substance, or did you take the resources just to satisfy yourself, just to give yourself some ease? That's why it says in Proverbs chapter 3 verse 27. Read that.
Verse 27.
Yep, 3 and 27. Read that.
Come. Proverbs 3 verse 27. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due.
So when I have the ability and capability of helping, the Bible says what?
Withhold not good to him who it is due.
We said don't withhold it, man, to them that which is due. Read it again.
Come. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in thy power of thine hand to do it.
So the Most High was checking what?
What do I do when it's in the power of my hand?
Meaning what?
When you are able to.
Right. When you had the ability to do more, the Most High wanted to know, were you going to do more? Or were you going to do less? See, the Most High will give a man something just to analyze what is he going to do with it. Most High give a sister something just to see what she's going to do with it. He'll give you what you ask for, he'll give you what you want, but he wants to know, are you brothers get cars all the time. And brothers get cars, and we always tell a brother what? What do we tell brothers when brothers get cars?
Please make sure you pick brothers up out, because Most High bless you with a vehicle. Other brothers don't have vehicles. Can you please make sure you're a ride? And the funny part is, this would be the brothers that don't have rides, that didn't have. That's the funniest part about it. The brothers that never get rides, that was walking forever, or just on the bus, or just always had a bad ride scenario. They'd be the number one people that don't want to give rides. That'd be the craziest part about it.
That's what I'm saying. Why? What do we tell brothers that get cars?
If you want your car,
anybody got a car and had one of them councils where brother told you what to do with your car?
Yep.
What was it?
It was two things. It was one, you didn't get that car just for you. You got that car so you can help the body. And then also, in the future, if you want that car to stay running, make sure that you and that car is accessible to the body. Pick up a brother from the work that does the work for the Most High. Make sure you make yourself accessible for the body with that vehicle, because that's the reason why you got it. That's what I was told.
And if I hope if men that are brand new, if you haven't been told that yet, then we're gonna go ahead and tell you now. Say that again, Yawab.
So it's the whole reason you got the vehicle. It wasn't just for you. It wasn't so you could go do the things that you want to do, fulfill your goals. You got the vehicle so you could use that vehicle to help the body, to help the members of the body that do the work of the Most High. That's the whole reason that you got the vehicle. And then if you want to keep that vehicle running and keep it maintained at the best standard it's at, make sure you make yourself and that vehicle accessible to the body. Don't get stingy with it. Don't get mad at it. If a brother hits you up at some time that you think
Wait a minute.
I'm sorry.
What happens when you ask that brother to borrow his vehicle?
Brother say no.
They're crazy, man. Buzz make face. First thing they do is make a hard face out. They get like Star Trek dude's head out there.
That Klingon head.
Yeah, you start seeing all these bumps and the forehead was crazy.
Actually, sometimes brothers they go fake death. Huh? What'd you say?
No, or they say why.
Oh yeah.
Why is it
You know the most High be challenging. I love it. Because he said, my son, when thou comest to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for what?
Temptation.
You know why? Because your substance is going to be the temptation. You know, I love to see the reaction of brothers that get vehicles when another brother got need, because another brother always got need. Hey, brother, can you his brother ride home? I don't live that way. What is you not living that way got to do with giving that brother a ride home? Why I got to give him a ride home?
Because it's a test of your charity.
Because that's what the Most High want to know. The Most High want to know, when you got it, do you got it to give, or you got it to harbor and keep for yourself? Did you get it to share? Or is that just your own personal benefit? I'm gonna tell you this. What did brothers tell brothers that got new ribs?
The same thing.
It's not your rib. Yeah.
You're not. It's your rib. Wait, the benefits that rib. No. We gotta be clear.
Yeah.
Be very clear.
Hey, bro.
Your rib's a cook. Make sure she's cooking for the brothers. Your rib has daycare skills. Can she offer her services? She has time. Daycare skills, cooking skills. If they have the ability to give sisters rides, because sometimes sisters do need rides to appointments.
Babysitting. Babysitting is always needed. You know what new brothers don't like to do?
Yeah.
Send their rib. That's my rib, brother. Send their rib to go clean somebody else's house.
Hell no. You get that one.
You know that's a challenge, bro. Because you know what you're gonna get when you get home? Why'd you send me to that sister's house to clean her house? She can clean her own damn house.
Because that's the elder sister. You need to learn how to bond with her. How about that?
Right. Because you don't possess what that sister possessed yet. You don't understand what you can get from that sister. Obviously, you're missing something that sister has. You're a brand new sister. This sister been put it down for the camp for 5, 10, 20 years with no complaints. And whatever the camp needs, she's always on site. She's always available with no questions. So the least you can do is walk your way into some alms. Volunteer yourself into some alms. Volunteer yourself into some charity. But brothers don't do that. That's my rib. That's my car. Brothers got a rib that knew how to braid hair. Guess what she was doing?
Braiding the hair?
She was braiding whoever hair needed to be braided. Because she knew how to do it. It wasn't, no, brother, she only braided my hair. No, that wasn't happening. That was not happening.
Or brothers looking for any situation as an excuse to preemptively say, "Oh, that's what she can't braid your hair no more." You're the brothers looking for an excuse. Oh, you came 20 minutes late.
No, 5 minutes late.
You're 5 minutes late. You came 5. Oh no, how about the classic? You didn't wash your hair before you came here.
Oh man, I forgot about that.
Hey, it's done. We're done, bro.
Yeah.
It's the last time, bro.
I forgot about that.
You are inconsiderate.
Yeah.
You're inconsiderate, right?
Yeah. She's supposed to wash your hair and braid it and go to work in the morning?
No, hell no, bro. Don't come through no more, bro. Too bad.
You know what?
Wow, okay, bro.
That was always somebody that was,
I couldn't wait to tell you.
they couldn't wait to tell you no anyway. They didn't want to really do it anyway.
Or, bro, you left all this hair. After you got your hair braided, you left hair on the ground. You left hair in the bathroom. You left little soap of the.
Damn, brother, you couldn't give her $5. Couldn't give her $10.
God.
Sisters would braid hair for free. Skillfully.
It wasn't making you look crazy. You were looking good. You might get another rib. You looking so fly. You get hair. That ain't happening no more. But they getting that fly. You just enough.
No, that's what they spirit. I'm not taking away from you. Hey, listen, there's a generational difference from the demands that was put on for us.
Yeah.
As far as the brothers that's been in for a while, there's a generational difference in the demands that was put on us for our resources.
Yeah.
For what we made available to the camp, and it was all a challenge.
Yeah.
And the challenge was to identify, are you here just to reap personal benefits?
Exactly.
Are you here for the benefits of the body? So in every single way possible, whether your rib know how to sew garments, then guess what your rib was doing?
Sewing.
She was sewing garments for a multitude of men. If she knew how to braid hair, she was braiding hair for a multitude of men. And it was vice versa. If your rib knew how to cook, and you lived at the brother's house, your rib was cooking for a multitude of men. It wasn't just, hey brother, she made me dinner. It wasn't just that my rib made me dinner and you live amongst a whole body of men. My rib made us dinner. Dinner's already ready when we get home. Because it was about the unit of the body benefiting, the multitude benefiting. It wasn't about me just having a rib just to cook me my favorite dish. It wasn't about me having a rib so she can braid my hair, or that's her car so it's not available to the camp because that's her car. Whatever you possessed, whatever was needed for the sake of benefiting the body was always pitted against your comfort. It was always pitted against your desires and your plans.
Because
especially when you have plans.
Because for her to do, because she gets a phone call, and what's needed, that means whatever you had, plans you had, and interests you had going on, and comfort you wanted, the camp needs that before you.
Or the sister say, hey, we got a sister gathering, and you might have had plans with your rib.
Yeah.
But the sisters might have something. They might needed your help. They might needed your ribs help to babysit because the sisters had something to do.
Yeah.
And then you was like, well, normally me and my rib spend this time together on this day. This is our day. Because this is me and my rib's day.
I'm not going to include my rib.
Yeah.
In the sisters gathering.
Right. But they're sisters. But this is normally my day with my rib. People don't understand this, man. The Most High. Yeah, Jehana?
Yeah. Acts 4:32. All things come.
No, that's good. Yeah, the church, the original church. But a lot of times we don't consider that the Most High is the one challenging and setting the tone to see what I'm going to do. Whether it be a vehicle, whether it be resources, whether it be a rib,
free time,
whether it be free time, we don't even realize that, man, it's the Most High that now that I have it, it's the Most High that wants to know what is it for, who is it for, and who's it going to benefit.
Is she for the work or is she for you?
Exactly. Because she's supposed to be available as a helpmeet to you to help you serve the Most High and the body. But you know, if you knew what was good for you, you would have your rib iron sharpening iron.
Yeah.
She's never going to pick up those qualities from sisters in class. It's the time that she spends with sisters outside of class that helps her pick up those virtues that other sisters possess that she's not going to get just in class.
True.
So if you just have your rib only available for class, and some men don't even do that, then she's not going to learn and reach her full potential. Neither will you be able to show the Most High that, hey, I'm in this for the benefit and the well-being of the body, not just for me.
This is the talent. We're supposed to get every talent resource we have, and we're supposed to double it.
Man. Man. Read that 27 again in Proverbs.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 27. Withhold not good from them to whom it is due.
It says, don't withhold the good to them to whom it is due. Who deserves your good? Go to Galatians 6 and 10 real quick. Let me look for the scriptures.
Galatians chapter 6 and verse 10.
So going to Galatians 6 and 10, right?
Come.
Yep.
Reads, as we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men.
It says, when you have therefore what?
Opportunity, let us do good unto all men.
It says, let us do good unto who?
All men.
All men. But I like this verse because the Bible verse narrows it down to who in particular. It said all men, but really? Read on.
Especially.
Hold on. Specifically. Predominantly.
Yeah.
Mainly. Who?
Unto them who are of the household of faith.
The ones that you work with and labor with in the work that you do in this body. These are the ones that you should be willing to go the extra mile for with no problem. Even if you don't live that direction, but the brother needs a ride home. Or you had plans and you had a date set up from your rib, but this sister needs a babysitter. But your rib is not just for you. Or the brothers need food cooked, but you're just eating at home, making sure you're getting whatever dish that you prepared all week and you brought groceries for, and you're just the one tasting that dish while brothers around you of the household of faith are trying to piece together a meal. See, the Most High kind of understands Christ understands men, and the Most High is challenging men. It's a challenge to see what are you going to do when you get it. When you start stepping up in abundance. In Luke 16:10, read that real quick. See, the Most High is determining all these things based upon men and women's behavior. Read that.
Luke chapter 16, verse 10.
And read a little bit louder, close to the camera, sir, so you can hear it.
He that is faithful in that which is least and faithful.
No, read it again.
He that is faithful in that which is least.
Stop. It says, he that is faithful in that which is what?
Least.
Go ahead.
Is faithful. Also in much.
He said the Most High knows that that man is faithful also in what?
Much. In much.
So do you have to have a lot for the Most High to know what you're going to do when you get something? Nope, not at all. You don't have to have a whole bunch to identify to the Most High what your behavior is going to be like based upon when you do get a whole bunch or you get resources, an abundance of resources. The Most High can check based upon what you do when you do have a little bit and determine how you're going to react when that little increases to abundance.
God. It's true.
See, the Most High, it's the little things that you do now that will let the Most High know how you'll respond later. If you're tight with your resources now and you barely got resources, what does that tell the Most High?
You won't get when you have a lot.
If you're tight with your time now and you really don't have a lot of liberty, but what happens when you get liberty?
It's even worse.
It's even worse, bro. When you have a hard time sharing now, and you're not even in a place where you have a whole lot, because a lot of people got the idea of, well, when I get more, I'll do more.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Hold the Most High hostage.
Right. When I'm just waiting to hit the lottery, and then y'all gonna see how charitable I really am.
That's crazy.
Wait till I hit it big on the scratch off. The pick six is coming on Wednesday, Saturday, and I got the loteria, and I got the extra. I bought the extras. I paid $2 for the extras, whatever the hell they be. All I hear at the gas station is, "Do you want the extra?" I don't even know what the hell they be talking about. Yeah, let me get these 6 numbers with the extra. I'm like, what the hell are they talking about with the extras? What the hell extras are they doing? But whatever the case may be, you don't need to hit the lottery for the Most High to know where your heart really is. All the Most High got to see is how you behave now with the little that you do have. And that lets the Most High know, man, this person ain't going to change if I do give them abundance. Damn, you stingy with $2. You'll be stingy with $20. You'll be stingy with $2,000. You'll be stingy with $20,000. You'll be stingy with $200,000. Because the lie is that when I get more, I'll do more.
That's the lie.
That's a lie, bro. The Most High can dictate your habitual nature, your greedy nature, carnal-minded nature, based upon what He already gave you. Based upon what He already put in your hands. All you got to do is look at what you do now and look who you do it for. And look who's benefiting from your resources now. And that will let the Most High know exactly how you'll behave when things change.
Do I give with the spirit of envy that hold it over people's head? I try to give like Esau and control people and manipulate people and run people. Well, I did this for you, so I expect this. This is how things are going to be now.
Yeah.
A string's connected to this giving.
Said, you know what? If a person's that tight with me about a shirt, because I gave you that shirt, what happens if they give you something bigger than that?
That's a bigger problem.
They're really going to hold it against you. They're really going to hold it over your head. They're really going to have some damn demands. If you tripping about me, I owe you 50 cents, and you tripping about 50 cents.
Yeah, 50. 2 quarters.
You tripping about 2 quarters. Hey, bro, you ain't finished giving my change back. If you tripping about, and you making a big issue about 50 cents, What's going to happen with $5 or $20 or $500?
The intent is going to
You're damn right. It's
with
going
the
to
amount of money.
You're right. Because the Most High can determine a man's mind not based upon much, but based upon how you behave with little. How you told people that needed your help no, and all they asked for was a ride.
And made a good excuse too.
Yeah.
Excuse masters.
When other brothers let you borrow their car when you didn't have a car. You didn't even have a car, nor did you know how to drive. The brother that lent you his car taught you how to drive. And now you got a car and you can't pick nobody up. You can't pick nobody up. It don't take a lot to determine a lot with the Most High.
So you said the Most High be using a strategic. He Most High gives us a situation in order to see us.
The Most High is analyzing your poverty.
Okay.
The Most High is analyzing your poverty in advance prior to you having abundance.
There's a testament against us.
It's already the lack of charity is a testament against you. It's because the notion is when I get a chance to do more, I'll give more, I'll be more available. Man, that's a lie. That's a straight up lie. Read it again.
He that is faithful in that which is least is faithful.
He said, "He that is faithful in that which is what? Least. It's the least, man. How are you giving when you don't even have it to give? Will determine to the Most High how you'll give when you do have a lot to give. Shit, if you greedy now, you're gonna be greedy later. If you a tight wad now, you're gonna be even a tighter wad later. If you hold back now, you're gonna really hold back later.
You quiet that back seat now? Quiet that back seat later?
Yeah, you're gonna be quiet that back seat later, man. You're not gonna. The Most High don't need a lot to determine you as a man, to evaluate you. Read.
He that is faithful in that which is least.
But he also can tell, man, how did you behave when you really didn't have a lot to give, but you choose to give it anyway? How did you behave when the brothers needed you, and you were short on time, you were short on resources, but you wasn't afraid to give it? How did you behave when you first got a rib? Before you had a whole bunch of kids, you were still willing to exhaust yourself and give yourself before the kids came, before they really tied your time up. It's going to determine how you give later. Because what the Most High is looking at is what's priority to you. Do you find the needs of the body priority? And that's why he said in Proverbs 3 and 27, he said what?
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 27. Withhold not good from them who it is due.
Especially them that are of the household of what? Faith. Especially the ones that are of the household of faith. You don't hold it back when you have to give it. Read on.
When it is in the power.
It says when it's in what?
When it is in the power.
Thy power. When it is in thy power of thy hand. Go ahead.
To do it.
To do it. That means that when you had control, the Most High was checking out how you gave yourself to the needs of the people around you when the power was in your hand. Not even when the demand was really put on you. Not even when the responsibilities really bear down on you. It was when you could do it. The Most High was looking at you. He was checking you out and examining your mental status, your hospitality, your charity, your spirit and willingness to give, to go the extra mile, to deplete yourself. Or were you trying to reserve yourself? Because a lot of times that's still what men do also. They reserve themselves for the purpose of preserving themselves. Because I got something to do later on. I don't want this to conflict with what I have planned. How often does that happen? Many times. But you know what the Most High is checking? Are you going to come off your plans? Are you going to come off what you want? Are you going to come off your personal endeavors that you planned for? I've been planning this for a month, and are you going to? Because I don't want to change it. I'm not flexible. Man,
Can't wait.
the Most High said, you give to when it's due, man. And who's it due to? Those that are of the household of faith. When you got the power to give to those that are of the household of faith, the Most High wants to know, are you going to do it or are you going to withdraw yourself? And all he has to do is look at how you behave when you don't have much to offer, but are you still willing to give that little? And that's how the Most High can know. Verse 28.
Proverbs chapter 3 and verse 28. Say not unto thy neighbor.
It says, say not unto thy neighbor what?
Go and come again.
Hey man, I don't got it. I can't do it. Now it's not a good time. Hit me back later on. Listen. Check with me in a week.
Yeah.
Maybe something's gonna shake later on.
Hopefully that time you
I
find
get paid
somewhere
next
else.
Friday.
I get paid next Friday. Now it's not a good time.
Yeah.
You know what the Most High know? He knows if you really want to make the sacrifice or not. He knows it's in your power. And you still be like, you know what? Oh man, come on. I'm gonna go and tell it, Kariah. I told Kariah, I said, look man, when you and your rib need a break, that's how we have laughing. I said, when you and your rib need a break, just call me, man. Make my rib watch your kids for you. I said, just give me a heads up. Kariah called me the next day. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. Man, my rib watch. I said, man, come on, man. Come on, man. Don't do that, man. He called me the next day, man. Oh, man, that bothered me, man. I said, damn. You didn't give me no warning.
But that was my bad too. I should have told you, because you told me, hey, let me go like ahead of time. I was like, all right, cool. I forgot about that. That was my that was on my end too. I was like, that was my fault too. Right?
Man, I was like, come on, bro. You gonna put me in that spot? He put me on the spot hard too. He was like, yeah, we gotta go do some dinner. We got the kids. We need somebody to watch the kids. What I tell him? I told him verse 28. What I tell him?
Say not to thy neighbor. Go and come again.
All right, man, hit me back, man. You gotta let me know. That wasn't fair though. That wasn't fair. But you know what? I could have done it, but it would have really threw some adjustments in the mix. But I didn't. Like I told you, I had just told her. I said, man, well, listen. I know you really need time, man. Just some one-on-one time, personal time, where y'all could, without the kids, man. Y'all need time without the kids, just so y'all can work on y'all relationship. Y'all can tighten it up. You need that. I wasn't expecting the next day, bro. I just was not expecting the next day. I
try to make it sound nice, like if you can't, it's all good.
Yeah.
If you can't, it's all right. It's all good.
He was playing me, man. Don't play with your people like that, man. Read that again.
Proverbs 3 and 28. Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give.
And tomorrow I'll give. I do it tomorrow, because that's what we like to do. We like to control when it's time to give, not when the need is. That's the whole point. We like to dictate and set it up to where it fits on our schedule and our plan. That's not real charity, man. You know what? If the need is there, you should be more prone to try to satisfy the need more so than try to control and set it up and establish it and get it all right in your mind. You know, the Most High had the person come to you like that just to see what you're gonna do. Mm-hmm. That was just a test to challenge your ability to give. A lot of times it happens that way. But a lot of times what we want to do is control the narrative of the charity. Yeah. We want to dictate when, what time, how long, this. We got to have 50,000, variables set up. Do you have a plan B? Do you have a plan C? Who else did you call? Did you call me first? Did you call so-and-so first? We want to know all these other things. But you know what? Nobody's saying in their mind, their first mind is, you know what, I got it to give. I should be looking to see who I can help. I should be looking to see who needs me. I'll say this: if you're a new brother, if you're a new brother, you should be challenging your ribs also, just like men are going to challenge you, just like the Most High is going to challenge all of us to see what they're made of, because they don't realize that the sacrifices and the charity that they present now to the Most High is going to benefit them later. They don't see it. But they don't, especially because they don't know when the tragedy's coming. And they don't know when the adversity's coming. So a lot of times we're afraid because I don't want to make her upset. I don't want to get her angry, but I know this family needs help. Or I want to save an argument. I don't want to go back and forth because I don't want to argue, but I know this sister is overwhelmed. Or I know these brothers ain't got no food. Or I know this person ain't got no ride. But I don't want an argument. Or I don't want to be inconvenienced because I had my rib planned for the things that I needed her to do first, before I relinquish her to the camp, knowing that there's always a need that could be filled. But the Most High wants to see, is your rib just for you and your own personal benefits? Or is she available to the body? Because if you're training your rib right, if you're training your rib correctly, your rib is supposed to be available for the needs of the body. Just like you have a camp-oriented mind frame, the camp man, it's camp comes first. She has to be following you within that mind frame. The camp comes first. Whatever the needs of the body are first. That's got to be priority. And the Most High is checking that. And you know what He'll do? If you faithful in the little things, you'll be faithful in much. But if you unfaithful in the least, you're going to be unfaithful when you do get it. See, when I get a rib, I ain't going to do that to brothers. That's why in, what is that, Mark 7 and 12? Or is that Matthew 7 and 12? Get that. Matthew 7 and 12. Matthew chapter 7 verse 12.
Matthew chapter 7 and verse 12.
Read that.
Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you.
Read it again.
Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you.
Because that's why brothers say, man, when I get a rib, I'm not going to do what brothers did to me when I get a rib. When I get a rib, she going to braid everybody's hair. She going to cook for everybody. But you know what? You didn't realize that you didn't realize, especially a young man, is that the qualities that my rib is going to receive doesn't come just from my instruction. Because a man can't show a woman how to be a woman, especially a woman in Christ. That's for another sister, an elder sister, to sharpen the minds of the newly formed sisters, the newly involved sisters. That's not for me to control. I need to get her around these sisters. So when the brothers, a lot of times brothers get ribs, and then comes the complaints, or they don't have a rib yet. Then they complain about that. You know what? If I do this, if I get a rib, she's going to be like this. If I get a rib, she's going to be charitable. She's going to be giving. She's going to be loving. If I get a rib, it's a bunch of ifs. Then when a man do get a rib, you can see where that man's mind is at when he do get a rib. Or does he say, well, since brothers didn't braid my hair, my rib ain't going to braid nobody's hair. Well, since nobody lent me their car, I'm not going to give my ribs car to nobody. Or nobody's driving my ribs car.
I'm not going to be the example.
I'm not going to be the example. Since this, and this wasn't done the way I wanted it done, my rib ain't going to be available for nobody but me. And then hold that hostage. But instead, I should say, you know what? If I tap into what the elders have laid down and the original training of how things work and how they're supposed to be for what's best for the body, then I should be asking questions on, hey brother, I got a new rib. She got time. She got the weekend off. What should she be doing?
All kinds of camps. All kinds of camp needs.
Man, there's all kind of things. I should be calling, brother. I should be, hey brother, how's your daycare situation? Who's picking your kids up? I know your car just went down. I got a rib. The car's running. Who's picking your kids up from school?
And it shouldn't be like manufactured. It has to be forced or suggested or induced to get this outcome.
Heavily persuaded?
Yeah, listen, we gotta persuade this brother. We gotta get in this brother's head and tell this. Listen, bro, your righteous works and your charity is supposed to come from within. It's supposed to come from you.
Yeah. It shouldn't have to be forced, because my mind should automatically be geared to feel the need. So if you gotta force somebody to do it, did they really want to do it? No, they really want to do it. If I gotta have an elaborate counsel to get you to be charitable, then deep down inside you really don't want to be charitable.
Yeah, that's true.
If we gotta break down why it's a good idea for you to give, or to have your rib or your family be available for this, or for you to give, then you really didn't want to do it. It was a struggle. And that struggle, that tension, you're going to feel that uncomfortableness. Everybody's going to feel that uncomfortableness of what it's like when you have to offer yourself, but you really don't want to offer yourself. Everybody's going to feel that uncomfortableness when you and your family is going to have to offer themselves, and we don't feel good about offering myself because I didn't plan for this. I came in the truth to marry you. I didn't come in the truth to marry
the body,
all these other people.
Come, marrying to the need. I'll do what your needs. I'm not gonna do all these needs associated with you.
Yeah, you know what Kyle Cobb told me? He said, brother, you need to put your rib to the test. Is she here for you, or is she here for Christ? I said, I don't know. He said, well, you're gonna find out, brother. We were selling raffle tickets. We had 2 crews. We was working 12 hours a day selling raffle tickets. He said, put your rib on the other crew. She quit after 2 weeks. I said, you know what? She must not have been here for Christ then. And you know what the words were? I didn't come here to sell raffle tickets with some men. I came in here to help you. I'm not doing this for them. That was the initial mind. A little test exposed exactly the answer that Kyle Cobb had asked me. Who is she here for? Why is she here? Is she here for Christ? Or is she here just for you? Because if your rib is just here for you, she's not going to last. She ain't going to be here long. Because when you offend her, who's going to keep her? Who's going to have her stay? How is she going to stay? How is she going to be convinced to stay once she's upset with you as a man? But you know what? You know what men don't understand? They train their ribs to be there just for them. And when they piss their ribs off, their ribs are gone with the wind. When you train your rib to be here for Christ, which is a bigger reason than just you, it actually helps you on the back end, because she's more persuaded and more convinced that regardless of your flaws, regardless of your errors, regardless of your decision making and your shortcomings and the lack of so-called wisdom that she feels like you don't have, or the mistakes that you make with money, because a lot of young men blow money, especially new relationships. A lot of men ain't used to having 2 incomes. Shit, they barely used to having 1 income. And then when they get 2 incomes, they don't know what to do with it. I see men get a rib, didn't have a rib for years, get a rib and just ball out. I seen a brother have TVs in a bathroom just because he could, just because the money was there. Damn, but I will say that's not a knock against that brother. It's not a knock against the brother, but I'm just saying, when you're not even familiar with having multiple incomes, then all of a sudden the Most High loads you with benefits, and you got 2 incomes coming in, and then she doesn't trust your level of responsibility, and she's doubting that. You know what? Well, what's going to get her to stay when she's doubting everything about you? It was the fact that she built bonds that were stronger than just the tie that y'all had together. And it's them same sisters that you may have not seen the benefit of are the ones supporting her in her mental stability. To not have to go back to living life without the Most High, which is really a disaster, especially in these days. So a lot of men don't see the benefits up front, but the benefits are there later. But you know, just like that challenge and that question was asked to me and every other man, why are they here, brother? Why do you have what you have? Why did the Most High bless you with what He blessed you with? Is it just for you? You're gonna have to get that little stomach flutter, that little uncomfortable. Man, they put me on the spot. Why do I feel like I'm being isolated? Why does it? You gotta feel that, because the Most High wants to know, and there's no avoiding it. With anything that you possess as a resource, are you going to make it available to the body? And the Most High wants to know. Read that again.
Matthew 7 and verse 12. Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them.
You know why I give? I don't give because I'm getting something immediately in return. I'm giving because when I see that, you know what, I'm gonna feel a need, because when I have a need, I want somebody to think about me. That means I'm the forerunner of the charity. Not because, well, brothers didn't do this for me. Well, shit, when I was in that position, nobody come help me. When I was in this position, I didn't see nobody sacrificing. No, you're not supposed to be charitable because you didn't see it. You're supposed to be the pioneer of it. Because you know that everything in your life isn't always going to be grand. And you're not always going to be in prosperity. There is coming a time when you will be engulfed in adversity. And you will be engulfed in need. And you're going to want people to fill your gaps. And to fill your voids. And to compensate for your lack. You're going to want it. You're going to want it. And you're going to need it. And you'll be thankful that for the fact that, you know what, I chose to do it first. So that I can reap the benefits on the back end. That's why I said, cast thy bread into the waters. And after many days, thou shalt find it thereafter. Because what the Most High is looking at is, are you going to do it first? Because it's a challenge. It's a challenge of your faith. Didn't the Most High say that in Malachi 3 and 12? Read that.
Malachi, chapter 3, verse 12.
Read verse 10.
Come, Malachi 3, verse 10. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house.
He says that there may be what?
Meat in mine house.
He says that there may be meat in my house. Read.
And prove me now herewith,
Go ahead.
saith the Lord of hosts.
Read on.
If I will not open up the windows of heaven.
He said, put me to the test. You're supposed to be challenging the Most High to see if He's a man of His word. If I extend myself to this degree, to where I'm uncomfortable, because I'm filling gaps and needs, will the Most High take care of me on the back end?
The same way.
The same way. You're supposed to be the pioneer of that thought process. That if I make myself uncomfortable for the sake of filling the gap and the need for another man or another family or another household, will the Most High take care of me when I need? The Most High just said, do what?
Prove me
What does the word prove mean? It means to test. The Most High is begging you to put Him to the test. Why don't you test the Most High and examine the Most High? Why don't you identify and find out, is the Most High really a man of His word if I choose to give myself to uncomfortable levels? Where I choose to fill gaps and see who got need? You know what? It's really uncomfortable when you thought you had plans with your rib and the plans was changed. Because the cap had, you had plans for your car, and your plans
changed.
Dawiyah went through it forever.
It was ever and ever.
Dawiyah went through it forever. I can say that for the multitude of times where you had a car. Dawiyah saved some money, first came in the truth. He saved his money up. He went and put down on the car. And That car was yours for how long?
A week.
About a week.
Listen, bro, I looked up. I'm riding a brand new Lincoln. Not brand. It was clean though.
It was clean.
All white.
It wasn't
clean.
new, but it was clean.
It was clean, bro. Leather, everything, bro. Rick James bang in the trunk. Feeling good. I look up and nobody else has cars. I don't know what it is. Like, whenever I had a car, there was like a drought.
You know, it's always this way. As soon as one brother get a car, what happens to the other car?
When one brother gets a car, everybody else's car is gone. It's for some reason.
It's always that way.
That's how it always goes. Cars always break. Baby's gotta be at daycare. Baby's gotta be where baby's gotta be. Brother's gotta be where brother's gotta be. Mall's gonna be opened up. People gotta go across the city. Elders need what they need at times that they need it. Your car is a service vehicle. You're Uber before Uber. You're a taxi.
Before Uber ever came out. Man.
Yeah, you're a taxi, bro. Listen, I understood. That was just the purpose of having it. You get it on so you can give it.
You know what? You became accustomed to it. You didn't even ask no questions.
It wasn't a problem. There's some brothers borrow your car. Well, hey, I don't need you. I just need your car.
Yeah.
So here's the keys, bro. No problem, bro.
It's already ready, man.
Come. And you ain't tripping about the gas either. Most of the time, bus came through a gas, but if it was low, man, how dare this, brother?
Yeah.
That's my reason why I can't.
I remember I had a van when I came in the truth, and we had 5 locations, and brothers dropped me off first at work.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then they drove around to every location, and then another brother had to pick up his rib from work, so he took my van, dropped me off. My van went around the whole city, and then picked some other ribs up,
yeah,
and then picked some kids up, and then I got picked up last after they came around, and this was on repetitive
You're
repeat.
a guest in your vehicle.
I was a guest in the vehicle. I'm in the passenger seat in my own vehicle, and then the car breaks down, and I gotta fix it, cause it's mine, because ain't nobody got no money. Otherwise, they probably have their own car.
Yeah.
So, you know what you have to do? It's real uncomfortable when your resources are for the benefits of the people around you, and you can't say nothing. You want to say something. You do want to say something. You know what I'm saying? You want to pop off with pride.
Yeah.
This is my car. That's where pride step in at. I remember I did that too one time. I remember I picked up my job. It was my officer over me. He told me to take a left. We're going to the school.
Yeah.
I picked him up.
Yeah,
He's telling me which way to go. You need to go this way. You need to go left. You need to go right. I'm like, that's gonna take long.
You're being directed in your car.
I'm driving. I'm being directed.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't give a damn. Go this way. Take a left, brother. Brother, it's gonna take a long time. Take a right, brother. And that pride. They start pricking my pride. I said, bro, it's my goddamn car. I ain't gonna tell me where to go in my damn car. You know what? That was just a test, man. That was a test to see how humble I was. If you are you doing this? Are you gonna show the Most High when you got a little raggedy ass car? How you gonna behave in your raggedy ass car? Because how you behave in that raggedy car is how you gonna behave when the Most High give you something better.
True.
Because you don't have no humility in that raggedy ass car. You ain't gonna have no humility, especially when you get a nice one. You really ain't gonna listen to nobody. See, the Most High is able to determine all these things by how you offer yourself now. And that's why the Most High be stripping and taking away. Because a lot of men fail those tests. You know what? For sacrificing them cars that you've sacrificed, shit, I even drove your car for about 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's all good. Huh?
But you know what? For all them sacrifices, for making them cars, how many cars has the Most High given us?
Oh, man, look, bro, cars. The word was you get the car to burn it out.
For the body.
That was the goal. You get the car just to burn it out.
For
now,
the care.
You take care of it. Of course, you do everything you can do. But the expectation is you're going to get an oil change once every month or a month and a half because you're going to drive more than 3,000 miles.
Yep.
And you're getting.
I remember I was doing 3,000 miles a month. I had to get an oil change every 30 days because my car was the only car in the camp at the time.
God.
Every 30 days I had to get oil change. It was going 3,000 a month.
God. Brothers driving around, if you forget the oil change, the whole camp gonna collapse. Right? So you better get the oil change.
You better keep that.
You better keep that check because the brother's gonna blow you up. Your car went down for what? I changed the oil. The camp needs you To be the right,
to be
you take
responsible.
responsibility.
To be responsible.
Be responsible, what?
Then you get yelled at for neglecting your own car.
Yeah. That's our car.
Yeah, it really is, huh? Because you've tied yourself into the needs of the body. You're intertwined with this body now.
And there's expectation, and you're not doing it for thank yous and passing the back. And
That's why I don't even like bringing this up, because it's really not about no glorification, but it's about glorying and suffering. About the Most High. I say this and we bring this up not to pat ourselves on the back, because we failed a lot of them tests. There's a lot of tests that we failed when we were being made uncomfortable. But because every man's gonna have to know what that feels like. Every sister's gonna have to know what that feels like when you have plans with your husband, but you gotta share your husband with the other men.
Can you accept it?
Yeah, it ain't just on the man's side; it's the women's side too. When you have a husband that's never available for you, but he's always available for everybody else. You gotta swallow that. And for men, I got a rib that's needed by sisters all the time, but she's barely there for me.
So I don't have a rib, but I have a rib.
Yes, exactly.
You have a rib, but you don't have a rib.
That's how you know you're in the right place.
You don't have a rib. Your rib is for the sisters and for the babies up, and you're like the last on the list. And it's like, damn, what's the point of having this rib if I'm last?
You're last, bro.
I'm last, and this is my rib.
You
have to feel that.
Yeah, it's like this. Hey, what time they gonna let you go so you can cook when you get home? What you cooking when you get home? What time? You don't know? Damn. Then you know what? You better cook. Either cook or go get some fast food. Because you thought you had a rib. You thought you had some food waiting. Ain't no food waiting. You know what? The sister might your rib might bring you a plate from the sister's gathering.
But you had to wait until 1.
Or you had to wait till that gathering was over.
11:30.
Then you mad. Damn, why it took you so long? You know why? Because it's an inconvenience in you. That's why it's a problem.
And the glory is in the inconvenience, because their spirit gets developed, but in the middle, their development is your inconvenience. Their development is supposed to be your inconvenience.
It's needed
It's
at the expense of your inconvenience.
Come on.
That's how they develop and build bonds with other sisters. You have to lose your rib so she can be a better sister. You got to lose your car so you can be a better giver. You got to lose your resources so you can be a better brother. Because if you ain't doing that, you haven't learned what it means to be in Christ. It's just the beginning. But you will feel it. And there's a lot of tests, because there's always a lot of poverty. There's a lot of tests that you will fail because you didn't realize that this was a test. You know, a lot of these tests you will fail. If you're not spiritually minded, you're going to fail these tests as they come, because there's always going to be a need that you got to feel. Feel, F-I-L-L. And because you got a need that needs to be filled, the camp has needs. That's the time the Most High wants to know, what are you going to do? Ecclesiastes 1 and 3. Hold that for a second.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 3. Are you ready?
Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 3. It says, "What profit hath a man of all his labor?"
I'm sorry. 11 and 3. We was at 11, right? My bad.
Ecclesiastes.
Make that correction on your note. We was in chapter 11. Read that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 3. "If the clouds be full of rain."
It says, if what?
If the clouds be full of rain.
What is the Most High trying to show you? If the clouds be full of rain. Read on.
"They empty themselves upon the earth."
It says they drop what they have to give on the earth. What is the Most High trying to show you?
His example is structure. He creates.
What the Most High created, which is carnal, which is earthly. The earthly materials that the Most High created, they know how to share when it's time to share. They know how to give when it's time to give. We're talking about meteorology. We're talking about some clouds. We're talking about some oxygen, some helium, some gas, some water, some nitrogen. We're talking about some ozone. Some elements that the Most High created. When it's time to share, they know how to share. You would think the most intelligent beings, organisms on earth could learn something from watching the clouds. But you know how many greedy people are that don't know how to give when it's time to give? That's the point that he's making. It's ridiculous that nature knows how to give, but you don't. It's ridiculous that you got to be counseled and convinced to give when the Most High created nature to automatically, when it's full, they do what? They give. They dispense what they have to offer. And that's why it don't make no damn sense. Even the clouds, when they're full, they know it's time to, hey, it's time to share. I got to drop this rain. This rain got to benefit the earth. You would think man could put 2 and 2 together and know that when, hey man, I'm in abundance right now.
Mm-hmm.
But man be in abundance.
I got the high hand.
I got the high hand. Things are going good for me right now. I got it to give. But I don't know how to what?
I'm on right now.
I don't know.
It's my time.
I don't know how to drop it on nobody, bro.
Okay. Can't pass the ball.
Can't pass the ball. I passed the test, bro. I know how to pass, man. J.R. Smith. For those that don't know, J.R. Smith lost the championship because he got a rebound and just didn't shoot it or pass it to somebody near the rim. He dribbled outside. He dribbled backwards, away from the goal, and then ran out, thought he had a timeout, and didn't have no timeouts. Everybody's mad at him for that.
Yeah, even LeBron James was mad at him.
Yeah, he was disgusted. He got traded after that.
He had to go back to school.
Yeah, that's horrible, bro. You don't know the game. You don't know the rules of the game. When it counts, when it matters, you fail when it matters. When it matters most. That's horrible, bro. And that's the crazy thing about it is, we're in the last days, which matters most, and you don't know how to give. We're in the last days, and you don't know what charity is. That's the same thing. That's even worse, because that's a basketball game. This game is life. This game is salvation. That's why it's even worse. Because you're at a point where the Most High is getting ready to smash this whole damn economy, culture, establishment, empire, and all this is about to collapse. Because there's a new king coming. There's a new ruler coming. And you still don't know how to share what you got. You don't know how to have your resources made available to the people around you. Read that again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 3. If the clouds be full of rain, they empty themselves upon the earth.
Read.
And if the tree fall toward the south or to the north.
Now let me ask you a question. What does the north and the south represent?
North and South Pole.
Nope.
Kingdoms.
The north and south are what? What are those?
Directions.
They're directions. They're cardinal directions. They represent what?
Up or down when you're up or down when you're a base when you're bound.
True, but even better. It says, read it again.
It says, and if the tree.
Stop. The tree is a man. If the tree does what?
Fall.
If the man dies, he's either going where?
Toward the south or toward the north.
Which represents what?
Heaven.
Sheol.
Heaven and hell, bro.
Yeah.
That's what it come down to, bro. This ain't about no north, south, east, and west. This about when that man dies and that man's life is taken, the Most High's got a place where that man's going to reside. That man is going to reside where?
South of the north.
He's going to reside in the south, or he's going to reside in the north. Read it again.
So it says, and if the tree fall toward the south or toward the north.
Read on.
In the place where the tree falleth.
And wherever that man dies at, wherever that man's ability to give was at, that's where it stopped. Wherever that man's charity was, that's where it stopped when he dies. There's no more chance to give some IOUs. There's no chance to say, hit me, I'm going to hit you back later. Give me another shot, Lord, and I'm going to do better. It said, where that man falls, where the Most High determined, listen man, you didn't earn to go to the north. You earn the south. Read.
There it shall be.
It says there what?
There it shall be.
It says there he's going to remain. So what I do now, as far as knowing how and when to drop my rain, when I'm full, will determine where I'll lay when I die. You understand that? Is there a misinterpretation? Is there a misunderstanding? What he's saying is, you better learn how to give what you got now when it's time and it's in your abundance and it's available to you. Because the time is not always going to be there. That's why I said in Luke 12, he says, thou fool, the Most High required thy spirit this night. Then whose things shall these things be? Who are these going to benefit now? All those resources accumulated are going where? Where did they get you? It's either going to get you in the north or it's going to get you in the south. Read on.
Verse 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 4. He that observeth the wind shall not sow.
It says, but you know what? If I keep making excuses, when it's time to give, because sowing is giving, sowing is being charitable, but when it's time to give, I got a whole lot of excuses. Man, I can't give because I got this coming up. I got this event coming up. I got this bill to pay. I got this. I got to go here this weekend. I got to do this, this, and this. I got this plan. I got this. All these damn excuses when it's time to give what you got in abundance. And you don't want to drop your rain. Read.
It says, and he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
And shall not what?
Reap.
I won't go to work. Reaping is working. Reaping is working. I won't put no work in. When it's time to give that, when it's time to perform and to give, I won't. I won't. That's why.
What do the clouds represent?
The clouds represent the opportunity to give. See, when your cloud is full, in the first part he said the clouds, when they're full, dispense rain, right? They drop the rain. But he says when a man will make excuses and don't even realize that his salvation is on the line. It's bigger than just resources. Yeah. I won't take advantage of the opportunity when the opportunity to reap. I made excuses to not give instead of to give. The clouds just represent, oh man, I can't give. It's bad weather. I can't work today. The reaping is working. The sowing is giving. And it's interchangeable, but they mean the same thing. That's why it says in 2 Corinthians 9:6, we said what?
2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 6. It says, but this I say, he which soweth sparingly shall reap also sparingly.
It says he that what?
It says he which soweth sparingly.
And that's the one that gives sparingly. Go ahead.
Shall reap also sparingly.
Read.
And he which soweth bountifully shall reap also bountifully.
So he said, if you give when you have an abundance, the Most High will give to you an abundance. But if you're tight, you're real particular, you make excuses to not give. You're very selective on who you give to. You don't want to give. It's a bother. It's a problem to you. Then the Most High said, you know what? Then hey, I can't give you what you didn't earn, what you didn't deserve. I had to treat you like you treated other people. Because that's what Matthew chapter 7 verse 12 said. It says, do unto others as ye ought to be done. Or as you ought have them ought to be done unto you.
Yeah.
In the world they call that the golden rule, right?
Yeah.
Treat others as you ought to be treated.
Yeah.
So the Most High is like, okay, well, because you didn't know how to give, why should I give you anything? Especially when it comes to salvation. Last verse, John 35, 4 and 35. Read that.
St. John.
Yeah.
St. John chapter 4, verse 35.
Read that.
It says right there. St. John chapter 4, verse 35. It says, "Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest."
He says, say not there what?
There are yet 4 months, and then come harvest.
He says, say not there's 4 months, and then comes harvest. What is Christ saying right here? Don't lie to yourself and tell yourself you have time that you don't know you'll have. Because that's what people think. I got time to give. I got time to offer myself. I got time to be charitable. I got time to prove to the Most High that I believe in Him. You may not have the time that you think you have. And also, the time is now. Read on.
It says, Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes.
He said, behold, I say unto you what?
Lift up your eyes.
Read on.
And look on the fields.
Go ahead.
For if they are white, are ready to harvest.
He says they're ready for harvest now. Meaning everything that you need to do to prove to the Most High that you believe is when?
Now.
It's right now, bro. You better put some work in right now. It's not time to say, well, when I get something later, I'll be able to give more. Bro, there's already, you got something you can give and offer right now. There's plenty of work that can be done to show the Most High that you're charitable and that you're giving. And that you possess hospitality. There are no excuses, man. Don't lie to yourself and tell you got time that you don't have. The time is now. The Most High is checking out how you offer yourself now based upon what you do possess, not based upon what you don't possess. He's judging how you behave now with the little that you do have. Finish that in Ecclesiastes 11:6 or 11:5.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11, verse 5. It says, As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit.
He says, but man don't understand the way of the what?
The Spirit.
Man don't understand the Spirit, bro. Man don't know how to please the Most High in the Spirit. You know how you please the Most High in the Spirit? You operate in faith. You know what it takes to please the Most High? Faith. It says that without faith, it's impossible to what? To please Him. Meaning you need faith, and that faith is examined by your charity. And the time to give your charity is now. He said, man don't understand the Spirit. Read on.
It says, nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her that is with child.
He says, what he's saying is, man has no concept of the things that are unseen, but the Most High has these things moving that you don't see, but these things are developing, but you have no concept of how He develops things, because it's unseen. Read.
Even so, thou knowest not the works of the Most High who made all.
It said we don't understand the Most High. Read on.
Verse 6, it says, in the morning, sow thy seed.
It said if you understand the Most High, He says in the morning, do what?
Sow thy seed.
That means as often as early as possible and as soon as possible, sow thy what?
Seed.
What does that mean?
Give,
bro.
Give early.
Give early. If you know anything about the Spirit of the Most High, you better wake up with a mentality of giving. If you could understand anything about the Spirit of the Most High, you better wake up with giving on your mind. He said, in the morning, sow thy seed. Read on.
And in the evening, withhold not thy hand.
And it said, and when the evening is when you have it, when you have more abundance. Don't withdraw yourself. Don't withdraw yourself from when you have it and you don't want to give it because you want to hoard it to yourself. The rain clouds don't hoard rain. You don't see greedy clouds, bro. If the cloud got rain, they'll drop it. You don't see stingy clouds. Psych. You thought I was. Made you look. If the rain got it to give, it gives it. Man don't understand that. Read on.
It says, for thou knowest not whether it shall prosper, either this or that.
What he's saying is, when he says, thou knowest not what ye shall prosper, he's showing the dynamic between giving and also putting works in that show the Most High that you care about what he cares about. He's paralleling sowing and reaping as working and charity. My works is in my charity. And you can see my charity by my works. He says, people think, well, I go to work in the morning. I put in work for the Most High, so that should be enough to get me to the kingdom. Because I clocked in, I did my job, I busted my ass, I was on time, I did everything I was told, and that should get me to the kingdom. No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying your work alone is not enough. He said you don't know if it's enough. See, a lot of people, they work but they don't give. They work their ass off but they tight as hell. They work their ass off but there's no charity. But they think my works is enough to get me in good graces with the Father. You don't know that. Some people would rather give, but they don't put in no work. Hey man, I'm just going to help you out, but they don't want to do no work. So some people say, well, you know what, my charity alone should get me into the kingdom. No, not really. You need both. That's why it says don't bank on what you're good at. See, people think that my strong arm is enough to get me into the kingdom. You better have two strong arms, because you don't know which one's going to get you in and which one's not going to get you in. There's no guarantee your work ethic is going to get you in the kingdom. But also, people think, well, I give, but they don't want to put in no work. He said, so which one do you think is more important? He said, you don't. You don't know. So the best advice is to do both. You better put in some major work and put in some major charity. Do both. Read that again.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 6. It says, in the morning sow thy seed, and in the evening withhold not thy hand.
Read on.
For thou knowest not whether it shall prosper.
You don't know which one is going to be more beneficial to you to keep you in good standings with the Most High. Whether it was your charity or whether it was your work ethic. Read on.
Either this or that.
It said it could be either one. You know what the Most High, you don't know what the Most High is looking at for you to make it to the next level. You might have dynamic work ethic, but you ain't got no charity. You might bust your ass, but you don't give it to nobody. Because everything was self-motivated. I was in there for me. He said it could be this or it could be that. You don't know. Read on.
Or whether they both shall be alike good.
He says, or whether they both be alike good. That means I have to set up a solid work ethic in the showing the Most High that I care about this program, and also I have to set up a solid form of charity to prove the fact that I believe. I need to make sure that I'm good on both ends. My work ethic is good and my charity is good, because like Christ said in Luke chapter 12, when I get enough to fill my barns, I say, soul, take thine ease. Take thy rest. Eat, drink, and enjoy the fruits, and be merry. Let me slow down, because I have abundance. Let me indulge in what I've accumulated. The work never stops, but the charity never stops. Because you don't know which one the Most High is looking at to say, you know what? Well done, my good and faithful servant. You better get some alms, and you better get some work ethic. You better do both. Finish that in John 4:35.
St. John chapter 4 and verse 35.
Read.
It says, say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest.
Go ahead.
Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes, and look on the fields. For they...
And look on the fields for what? Go ahead. Because there's a lot of work that can be done. Read.
For they are white already to harvest.
Go ahead, some work to do. Read on.
It says, and he that reapeth receiveth wages.
It says, and he that reapeth receiveth what?
Wages.
Yeah, he that reapeth receiveth wages. The wage is to get to the kingdom. That's the wage. That's the payment I want for my work, is to make it to the kingdom. Read on.
And gathereth fruit unto life eternal.
And I gather fruit for what purpose?
Unto life eternal.
And what do I do with those fruits that I gather?
Unto life eternal.
I give them away. I give my fruits away for the benefit of the people around me. See, you can never beat the Most High in giving. You can't beat the Most High in giving. You can never outgive the Most High. See, a lot of times we think that, you know what, my giving is in vain, my charity is in vain. The Most High is not taking notice of this. He's not acknowledging what I'm doing. He said, when you give alms, he said, you lay up treasure in heaven, where moth and rust do not corrupt, neither do thieves break through and what? Steal. Nobody can take away what you set up in the kingdom with the Most High, based on the works that you do and the charity that you offer, the alms that you give. This counts with the Most High. Read on.
It says that both he that soweth and he that reapeth may rejoiceth together.
It says so that the one that sow and the one that reap could rejoice together. Read on.
Verse 37. And herein is that saying true. One soweth and another reapeth.
Read on.
I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor.
What he's saying is, you're reaping the benefits of what other men's sacrifices laid down before you, so you can learn the spirit of the Most High. Basically saying, you're benefiting with this truth by the sacrifices of the men that came before you. So guess what you owe the men that come after you? You owe them that same sacrifice. A lot of men had to give and lose so that you could reap these benefits of what you possess. A lot of men had to isolate themselves, lock their mind down,
Lose
ribs, sacrifice households. A lot of men had to give some major works and some charity so that you could get this type of knowledge. And now guess what you owe? You owe that same level of charity that those predecessors that came before you, you owe that same type of work. Imagine if those men would have slowed down and went for self. Would you have what you have now?
No.
Imagine if those men would have just been in their own world, consumed by just accumulating their comfort and engineering their comfort. Would you know what you know now? No. Would you have the stability that you have now? No. So you get to reap the benefits of your predecessors. Just like you should be in here right now for the sake of the benefits of the people that come after you. Because they sacrificed, so now this is why you sacrifice. Because they gave time and they didn't hold back, is why you shouldn't hold back. Just like you needed what they had to give you, somebody's going to need what you have to give them. And that's why Christ said in Matthew chapter 10, what? Freely as you received, freely give. But it was off the back of somebody else's labor. Just like somebody else is going to eat off the back of your labor and your charity. So that they all can come into reaping the benefits of this together. Verse 38.
It says, I sent you to reap that whereon ye bestowed no labor.
Right, because somebody else did the labor for you. All you had to do was finish the job. Read on.
Other men labored.
Yeah, that's right. Other men labored. A lot of men sacrificed and labored to get you this knowledge. Isn't it only fair that you put in some labor so somebody else can get it? Isn't it only right? Why get to the point where you're comfortable and then you slow down? And you're killing the growth for the future generation. Why get to the point where you're comfortable and now you've engineered your stability? And now you only care about yourself and not the benefits of the people around you. You're killing the future generation in need. There's always going to be another generation that's coming that's going to need the stability you possess that you were gotten and received off the back of somebody else's sacrifices. So when it's your opportunity to give, don't hold back. When it's your opportunity to offer yourself, don't be reluctant. Don't be greedy. Just like those men had to be put to the test, and they failed a lot of them. You know what? The Most High said, "No man is resistant unto blood, striving for what? For the truth." The Most High is not causing anybody to lose no blood in here. You can give. You can do it because somebody did it for you. Finish that.
It says, and ye are entered into their labors.
And you are right. You reaping the benefits of their labors. It's only right that somebody else reap the benefit of your labor.
I'm in their office.
Yeah, you're in their office now. But you also reap the rewards though, because of what they laid down. So it's only fair that you give, and when it's your turn, and when you have opportunity, it's your turn to give. Don't hold back, because somebody else is going to need you. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I have a question. Was us being greedy something that we got when we were born, or something that we got from living in the world?
I'm going to say it's just part of the flesh. Because the scriptures say the flesh lusted to what? To envy, bro. There's some things that are natural. That wasn't just, it's not because of the person that I am. Man was made to be covetous. Man was always going to hoard, naturally.
It's natural state.
It's natural state. It's to hoard comfort. I want to keep comfort to myself. I want to make myself comfortable. I want to make my environment comfortable. That's a natural thing. That's not like something that somebody had to teach you to do. You know what I'm saying? You got to teach kids to share. They don't like automatically be like, here's my toy. No, you got to dispel fights and whoop butts and argue and yell at them and tell them, listen, nobody have you can't share. Nobody's getting it. I'm throwing it in the trash. That's what we do to our kids. Hey, listen, man, they're going in the trash. You can't share, and neither one of y'all can have it. Y'all both gonna lose it. You better learn how to share. That's not like a spiritual thing. That's like, man, we just born with these virtues. No, we're born with these carnal tendencies. It's just that it's better if I recognize these tendencies early and just know the fact that it's a natural thing for you not to want to give yourself and share yourself with people that may not be blood, but they are your blood. And it's natural to complain about how much you're giving in comparison to who you see giving. That's what we also do. Well, I don't see this person giving as much, so I'm going to limit my giving. I don't see this person sacrificing this much, so I'm going to limit my sacrificing. That's a natural thing, bro. We compare carnal with carnal, bro. We don't compare things spiritual with spiritual. We don't look at ourselves to be the forerunners of charity, the forerunners and the pioneers of hospitality. That part has to be laid on by the hands of the presbytery. Your brothers have to be taught how to give. Because the natural thing is, man, I don't want to give. It's mine. I bought it. I paid for it. I own it. Why should I have to give it? Why should I have to give it up? Because the most I want to see how you behave with it. What you do with it. And there's no way around that, bro. There's no way around that. Everybody that has, the Most High wants to see if you're going to give it more. Are you going to give? A lot of times people come in the truth, they're more so in a needy position. They don't really have it to give. Or some people do have it to give. And the Most High want to know, are you still going to give it? Are you going to give it in faith?
Give it in faith, or you're in a position of receiving until you can give in faith.
Yeah, because a lot of times brothers come in needy. They need the help, and then once they get established and they get on their feet and things are going good, then you can see
the real man,
the real person. The challenge isn't always when you first come in and you're getting this knowledge, it's all free. But when you get established, see, the whole need not a physician, sick, but the physician. I mean, the whole need not a physician, but the sick. So after a person been in the hospital, the camp, the spiritual hospital for a while, and they start getting healed from all their anxieties and all their irreverent behavior, insecurities, addictions. When they start healing up from all these things that the world has done to them, insecurities, doubts, fears, and they start getting strong, then you start to see, based on what they do when they're strong, what's really in them. A man will say anything when he's down. Because he's down, he don't got no options. But when a man has options, then you can see man's true intention.
Pace change, conversation change,
Commitment changes.
commitment change. That's the first sign. You just wait. You just wait. Okay. Now the whole behavior is everything's changing. So I'm serving Christ for my convenience.
Right. We heard this too, and it's real. Brother came in, learned. Multiple men poured their mind into the development of this particular brother. Trained them from 6:30 in the morning into making him proficient and confident as a man. The brother had been through a lot in life. He was homeless, couch surfing, living with other people, having to do some strange things for some change. The brother was really on the downside of life. Brothers poured with liberty, poured their spirit into him, and he got stable, he got strong, he got confident, he developed skills that he never possessed, and that's what's supposed to be done for free. That's the goal. But then the brother leaves, and then calls back and says, "You know what? I just want to thank you, brothers, for making me the man that I am, because now I'm making $100,000 a year, and I'd never be able to do this without y'all. So I just want to call and say thank you. Shalom." Click. Was the purpose of that training invested into him so he can go off and make 100,000 and then call back and say I make 100,000? Or was the purpose of that training given to him so he could take it, be strong, and then pass it to somebody else? That was the purpose of it.
That's Christ's purpose.
That's Christ's purpose. Yes, sir.
Think you still got it? Think you still riding that blessing?
You know what? I don't know.
I got phone calls.
You got phone calls?
I got phone calls. Cops went crazy on him, bro.
So he ain't riding that blessing?
No, I'm not saying that. He's gonna be all right. Well, the skills he got, bro, the skills you learn from the truth, brothers learn from the truth. Brothers go from brothers can quit middle school. They be middle school dropouts and then be business owners.
Yeah,
that's happened multiple times.
Multiple times. Bro.
That's not a one time thing. Brothers
couldn't even read.
Brothers can't read, become CEOs and stuff like that. That's happened plenty of times. But the Most High starts when you need the Most High to defend you. And you got the adversary against you. Then there's no protection against the adversary. Then you're by yourself on the highway. And cats are dragging you and dealing with you, and you call for the Most High. But the Most High is like, listen, bro. When I needed you, you weren't there for me. So when you need me, I'm not there for you. It's the critical moments that you need the Most High that He remembers your absence. Brothers don't remember that. Your living condition, living situation, nah, man. He's not gonna. I've seen many brothers prosper after quote unquote the work. Listen, Most High don't get you for your living situation. He gets you when you need Him. The truth is insurance. This is insurance. Listen, you might not have it, but when you need it and it's bad, in ways that money can't determine, it can't say. Most High comes through in ways that you can't even quantify or
can't see it.
You can't even see or imagine.
Yep.
Most High comes through in ways that money can't even solve certain problems. There's problems that are unsolvable, and the Most High comes through because He uses your insurance policy because of what you put in. But when you forget the Most High, then when you need Him, it's the direct opposite. You get to sit here, and cops is on you, dealing with you physically in a way, and where's the Most High at? Well, where are you at? He finds ways to put you in those scenarios because you forgot Him. He wants people to remember, because you forgot me, I'm going to forget you. It's in Proverbs.
He said Jezreel wax fat and what? Kick, bro. That's what we always do. We get to a point of stability, and then we get to a point where, matter of fact, we was reading this earlier. Go back to Malachi chapter 3. Go to Malachi chapter 3. Who was reading that? This is the last one. We got to get out of here. Malachi chapter 3. Start at verse 13. No, start at verse 12.
Malachi chapter 3 and verse 12. And all nations shall call you blessed.
He said, when when Israel gets to the point where all nations call us blessed, man, look at, man, y'all got a power that's on y'all side. And everything start coming up for the children of Israel, and all the nations start to see the benefits of serving the Most High, historically speaking. Read on.
And all the nations shall call you blessed.
Read on.
For ye shall be a delightsome land.
He said,
you
shall be a delightsome land, said the Lord of hosts. The Most High said, man, when y'all Israel get it right, they're delightful. Read on.
Your words have been stout against me.
But then what happens?
Your words have been stout against me.
Once the Most High give us we become a delightful land, he says our words become what?
Stout.
Against him. Read on.
Saith the Lord.
Read on.
Yet ye say.
He says, your words become stout because you say what?
Yet ye say, what have we spoken so much against thee?
Go ahead.
You have said, it is vain to serve the Most High.
Because we say what?
It is vain to serve the Most High.
Once I get to where I'm blessed, once I get to where I'm comfortable, once I get to where I'm established, that's when we start doing what? We start saying, I don't need to serve the Most High no more. What for? I don't see the purpose in sacrificing for the Most High anymore.
And the word stout means brave, fearless, bold.
Yeah. Then I Jezreel wax fat and kick, bro. Soon as I get to the point where I'm good, my situation is good, I'm comfortable, I'm established, we start talking about how it's no need for me to work this hard. It's no need for me to have this level of faith. It's no need for me to commit this much.
For what?
It's no need for me to give this much. Now all of a sudden we become opinionated. After we get blessed.
Yeah.
Now we got opinions.
The blessing reveals the heart.
Yeah, the blessing does reveal the heart. Read on.
And what profit is it?
And what?
And what profit is it?
And what good is it what?
That we have kept his ordinance.
Yeah, we don't say that before the Most High blesses. He says we start getting this mentality after the Most High blesses. We start picking and choosing what ordinances we want to follow. We start picking and choosing how much we want to commit, how much we want to give. That's how the Most High know. It's not why we're struggling. It's why we're established that the Most High can tell where your heart was really at. Read.
And that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts.
He said, man, this has been some hard ass work, and it's been a drag the whole time. I did this mournfully. Meaning what? I really didn't want to do it. And I just got to a point where I was established enough to be bold enough to express it. Does that make sense?
Okay.
And that's us. See, the key is what he said, what Paul said in Matthew. He says, ye men that have wives, be as though ye have what? None. Why? He said, because the time is short. Say this ain't the time to lock in and focus on what the Most High is giving you. But the time is out, bro. It's about putting in as much work as possible before the clock is up, bro. Because we're in the last days, not the beginning.
Yeah.
We're the end of the Bible, not the beginning of the Bible. So this time that we're in now is we should be committed to doing as much work as possible for the Most High. Not withdrawing our hands from the Most High. But that happens when you get comfortable. So the goal is to keep yourself in a mentality of staying humble and not focusing in on the blessings more so than the one that blessed you. Putting your focus on the Most High, not the actual physical blessing. Not be distracted by the cares of this life. We got to stay focused, man. The time is really short. So you got to know why you're doing what you're doing. And that can't change whether you're up or down. That's what Paul said, I have learned to be there with content, whether abased or bound. I'm the same. My service to the Most High is the same. My commitment to the Most High is the same, whether I got it or I don't. I know what I'm doing here. I know what my purpose is. So we'll go ahead and end it with that. We'll go and say shalom. The water for watching. The water for coming out. We got another class coming on Friday. Kawakab actually be here on Friday, which is always good to see the brother on Friday. So with that, we're going to go ahead and say shalom. The water Israel. No need for the prayers. Let's go ahead and shoot out. It's already 10:30. My apologies. We started late. We'll set up a quick prayer. Imagine we'll put walk with them, round and face the east. I forgot to put on the Zoom.